Hello there. Welcome back to the Agostino Zinga Show with your host, Agostino Zinga. And this is episode number 975. I know previous episode I said it was 975, but it was actually 974. But today's episode is definitely 975. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so happy to be with you today. I'm so happy to be in your presence. I'm glad you've chosen me for your audio, visual, cultural commentary needs. As I always mention, this is the number one premier, except no imitation, cultural commentary podcast in the world. Premier, the breadth of topics, the depth of knowledge, and the pure entertainment you cannot find anywhere else on planet Earth, or your money back guaranteed. Okay, cool. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. How am I? Feeling pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. It's been pretty good to be back in the gym. I've had 3 sessions now, back to back to back. I've been running, I've been lifting weights, I've been squatting and stuff. My thighs are feeling kind of meaty. They're feeling kind of solid. I'm gonna go out for a fucking road run later on tonight. After I finish recording this, I'll go out for a little road run. I'm inputting my stuff on Strava, right? I'm using Strava again. I'm actually considering getting myself a Garmin watch. Mostly for Aura app, don't get me wrong. I'm not really in the whole running watch thing. I like to run with my phone. I like to have music on. I wear headphones. I'm not one of those guys that doesn't like wearing headphones. I like doing that whole stuff. But I am really considering getting a Garmin, mostly to share on apps. Because there's this new running app at the moment called Aura. A-U-R-A, right? Aura app. It's a really cool app this guy's done, where essentially he provides you with these really cool templates that you can share your runs with. So you know how Strava has that little route thing you could use, or you put the route thing on your own picture, you know, it's got the little whatever. So this app has like different sort of like templates, different, let's call them filters that you can use, really cool ones. There's one where makes it look like a digital camera. There's one that makes it look like a notepad. There's really cool ones that they use. I think I might actually try and get up on here. But this Aura app, I really want to get fucking into it and really start using it. But unfortunately, it only uses Apple Watch, I think. Apple Watch Health or something. No, I think Watch OS. And I think it uses Garmin. But it doesn't use, what do I use? I guess it doesn't use Strava. Because they had a bit of a tiff with Strava. Like they had some sort of like passer with Strava back in the day. I'm not really too aware of it. I've only discovered the founder and the app recently, to be completely honest. But I'm really liking what I'm seeing when it comes to Aura app. So this is the app here. Let me show you it. Let me show you it. This is the guy who does the app, right? His name is called Zach. I follow him on Twitter. And the app looks like this. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I primarily want to get a Garmin watch to track my workouts and stuff, mostly for this. So you see what this kid did here? Like all that stuff. Like you can do different filters and stuff. So do that and put it on your picture. I'll show you another one. There's a couple cool ones. I'll show you some cool ones. There's one like this. They've got a filter like this that looks like the crop, you know? Looks like the crop image that you do, the crop thing that you do on iPhone. It says here 1.15 miles run. I'll look at another one here. Let me scroll down. This is a pretty cool one too. It's a video. You can do it on video too, which is pretty cool. I ain't mad at that at all. Bear with me a moment here as it loads. Oh, look at these ones. These ones are really cool. Right, there's this one. So it gives you these really cool filters to use, and I really want to use it to kind of document all my runs, because I've decided now, after I spoke the other day about that Joyce Carol Oates lady, right? The author that was going in on fucking Elon and basically saying Elon's really uncultured, really lacks curiosity, seems to not have any fun because he doesn't share anything that he's interested in on his social media. He seems kind of like dead inside. And it kind of got me thinking in general about why I stopped posting my stuff on social. Not really about myself, like life. I'm never going to post a selfie or something. I think men taking selfies is kind of gay. It's kind of weird and kind of gay, not in a homosexual way, gay in a not cool way. Like super gay in a not cool way. I don't think men should be on social media taking selfies of themselves, trying to look cute and shit. That's not what I'm on. And I also don't like to give people an insight into what I'm doing outside of like the workout sort of stuff. You know what I mean? It's not needed. I'd rather just do what I'm doing on my own privately kind of thing. But I do like flexing about the amount of stuff that I get done in a day outside of all that sort of stuff. It's quite fun. I'm not going to lie. So I want to feed that beast again. But just sharing my fucking feet and pictures of fucking plates it's not that exciting, do you know what I mean? So I want to mix up a little bit. So I'm going to record some videos, I'm going to do some clips, but I really want to use this fucking filter that they use on this fucking app, right? To put it on there. Maybe I'll just copy the text myself and just draw them all over it itself, but I'll show you one. There's a couple on here that this guy shares who's the owner. He's the owner of the app itself. So this one's pretty cool too, right? It gives you a little notes app that you can also show with all the timings and stuff. There's this one too that kind of gives you an old Mac Windows type of vibe. I think this is like one of the old Mac OSs, right? Back in the day when they had that computer with the fucking gel screens in the back and stuff, the gel backs. So that's pretty cool. You can take these little filters. So I really want to use that Aura app. I'm not going to lie. I really want to get involved in that fucking Aura app, man. I fucking need to get involved in that fucking Aura app and to fucking use it. But unfortunately, I can't use it now because it only connects with a fucking Garmin on Apple Watch. So I'm going to have to get a Garmin on Apple Watch to wear when I run, which is really annoying too because I like using my phone. But I also want to use this app. So I'm stuck in a fucking predicament. You get me? But yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. So you will see a lot more of my fucking workouts and all everything else posted on my socials. I'm uploading manually. At the moment, I'm uploading workouts manually on my Strava. If I'm not running outside, I'm running on a treadmill. You kind of have to input them manually and stuff. That's kind of cool. Also, Strava now allows you to import weight trainings and stuff, which is kind of cool as well, to kind of mix things up and kind of keep your streaks going and whatnot. But yeah, I want to use this app to share some of my workouts, man, because some of these filters are really fucking cool. I really, really love some of these filters that they use. Really fucking cool. I ain't mad at these filters whatsoever. Like even this one's pretty cool too, where it kind of says, you know, the mileage that you run, but it's got like a verified tick on the side at the end. That's a pretty cool little thing to kind of, you know, put out there. There's another one that's got some sort of anime sort of stuff. Oh no, this is I forgot what it's called. The Titans, right? Clash, whatever the Titans anime is called. Please forgive me, I forgot the name of it. There's this little filter too that gives you the notes app on the side. A little notes app thing there that you can put there, which I'm not mad at either. The crop one is pretty cool. I don't mind the crop one. The crop one is really fucking cool. Yeah, man. I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with it. Oh yeah, Aura as well. Look at this. What's this about? Strava, what's happening? First you made the foot too big, which covered the whole photo. Now it blurred the top. Okay, actually, let me actually read. I want you to quickly read. What was I forgot what the beef was between these guys and fucking Strava in the first place. They had some sort of beef. Let me quickly check this guy's Twitter, but I quickly remember him writing that he made like a roundup of like what their beef was with Twitter, with Strava. I think it was something about tokens or something. Let me see if I can find it here. There was some sort of Strava issue that they had. Let me quickly get it up on here so I can quickly give you a bit of a lowdown in case some of you guys are runners and want to get involved. So where is it? Strava, where is it? It was somewhere here, innit? Strava marketing, that's the guy that does it. Yeah, there we go, Strava files. So here we go. This is from a person called Hunter Weiss. Big up Hunter Weiss. Hunter_Weiss. Weiss spelled W-E-I-S-S. Breaking, the Strava files share and Aura, right? The Strava files and share Aura. On August the 22nd, Strava emailed Zach, who's the founder of Aura, to add Strava watermark to all shares from Aura 10 days after they launch, or they would cap new users permanently. So yes, from what I can remember, when Aura launched, they kind of had an integration with Strava, so it made it easy. So I could have done it, but it stopped. But then obviously Strava have like they sell the integration. So if you're another running app and you want to use Strava's data and how they gather stuff for people to share it easily on your app, you have to pay them for that privilege. But I'm assuming they have like tiers. So if you want to have 1,000 users for the month, you pay a certain price. If you want 2,000, whatever, and so on and so forth. When they launched Aura, they maxed out the amount of users per month they could kind of have use Strava as a place to kind of share onto Aura. So, then Strava said if you want more, you have to add a watermark onto the fucking Aura app, which is fucking weird because that makes it advertising, isn't it? It's a bit of a weird blurred line there. If I'm paying for your service, why do you get to put a watermark on my pictures now or on the shared images? Makes no sense. So Zach says no to the watermark, removes Strava as a new integration to share Aura after 10,000 Strava connects in 4 days. Rah, Tej, 10,000 on July. Hopefully they work it out because it'll make it easier for me. If Aura work out a deal with Aura, it would make it easy for me because I could just use my phone. But at the moment, it's not the case. On July the 1st, Garmin asked Strava to put their watermark on Strava data shares or lose API access on November 1st. Not resolved yet. Strava responded by suing Garmin on September 30th for patent infringement on heat maps and segments as a retaliation against the Garmin API watermark demands. Here's a massive Strava hypocrisy involving the share with Aura. On October 2nd, Strava's chief product posted on Reddit the following: "We consider Garmin's watermark blatant advertising. Meanwhile, they are forcing their advertising on third parties." Oh, exactly. So Strava, in their battle with Garmin, said Garmin's watermark is fucking, what is it, advertising. But Strava are trying to force Aura to take their watermark if they want to use their integration. Hypocrisy at its finest. It continues. "We consider this Garmin's run data in Strava to be your data. Meanwhile, Strava tightly guards user data, restricts third-party access to its API, even when the data originates from wearables and is merely synced." I remember when I used to first run, during my first sort of running phase, I used to use the Nike running app. But I don't think now it's called, I think, Run Club, I think, right? The Nike app. But I used to use like a Nike running app. And that Nike running app was really good because you could essentially download your data. Not sure if you could basically, I think there was a tool online that allowed you to scrape your entire archive and then you could input it into whatever app. And I input it into Strava and it comes up with all geolocations and everything. It's fucking crazy. So it's kind of funny how Strava doesn't do it for other people, you know. Strava is open to allow you to upload all your data that way, but they don't let you to extract the data from that app into other apps. It's fucking weird. There's a weird fucking world with the running data app, whatever else it may be. I guess it makes sense because data is really valuable across the board. Doesn't matter if it's running data, personal data, whatever. But God almighty. It continues. Looking back, Zach launched Share Aura, a beta app in February using Strava's API 2 months before Strava copied Aura's transparent sharing concept. Oh, really? Is that who started it? Ah. So Aura started that trend of like having the transparent sharing thing. Strava never had that, because Strava now, if you want to, you could do what Share do kind of by just uploading a nice picture and then having the fucking stats of what he did running on the corner like a little transparent thing. So I guess they must have copied it from Aura. It's kind of like, sometimes I wonder with companies, isn't it? It's not that innovative of an idea. It's not that crazy of an idea. Surely they've got enough designers or product people at Strava that could have thought of an idea of like, hey, why don't we allow the users an option where they can share their fucking running stats as a transparent thing or a sticker they can put on an image that they took or a photo they took or a video, you know? The fact that they had to copy that says a lot about the lack of innovation within that Strava team, you'd imagine. It continues. 85% of Share Aura's users were syncing from Strava through Garmin Watch and other wearables. The data was never tracked on Strava, only uploaded on Strava via third-party APIs. If the Strava's valuation depends on repackaging Garmin data for its own API and taking credit by requiring Strava branding despite Garmin being the original source, that directly contradicts Strava's own statement on Reddit. Exactly. And how can Strava's CPO claim that user data belongs to the customer while simultaneously blocking those same customers from using Strava Share? Unlike Garmin, which encourages third party to build on the API and create apps that enhance the Garmin's user experience, Strava is trying to monopolize the fitness ecosystem while providing limited value and blocking third party success while treating Garmin and other device data as its own. Yeah, it's a really messy world, isn't it, with the data thing? Really, really fucking messy. Really fucking messy. Zach is on a mission to build the next great running tracking app on opposite principles, focus on simplicity, personal use, and social network, creativity and sharing via unnecessary data, and actually listening to what users want. Share already syncs with Garmin, Coros, and Apple, and is launching in-app tracking next month. Really? In-app tracking? Okay, soon, I guess. Since Strava tried to cap Aura's growth, the app is 10x its user base. Welcome to David and Goliath's fitness app, long Aura, short Strava. Okay. I guess we have to wait and see how it plays out. But I do like that Aura app. I do like what I'm seeing from that blood clot Aura app. Big up the stream chat too. Big up everyone in the stream chat, tuning in. I appreciate you. Hope you're good. What's going on, people? I see JS9. I think that's person. Big up Rick MB. I'm from Houston. How are you? Yes, I'm feeling very good, Rick MB. Hope you're good over there in Houston. Big up Rick MB. Almost ended. How much? I've not done too much of the New Year's resolution. I'm not gonna lie. My New Year's resolution, I've not done too much. I'm going to probably repeat them again next year, but I've not done too much on this list. I'm not going to lie. The books, I've not read 4 books a month. I've probably read 1. The streaming every day, I've not done that every day. I've probably done that for like, 4 months out of the year, mostly on the random show, but I'm trying to do it on here now. The 1,000 members on random show, I'm not close. I've got like 116, I think, at the moment. I've got about 116 members, I think. 500 members for Tazs, not close to that either. I've got, 43 at the moment. Cycle run 30 miles per week. Haven't done that at all. Most I've done maybe 10. 90 labs by April. Definitely not there. To be honest, I haven't weighed myself in a while. But last time I checked, I'm probably down to about 220, 230. Which is good, because I was 250 before. So I'm down to about 230, 220, I'd say. If I was going to judge myself right now. 1 2 hour DJ stream per week. Haven't done none of that at all. And learned German and Spanish. Done absolutely 0. So I've done an element of the first. How many did? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've done an element of like 5. I've done an element of 6. I've touched at least one of these, right? But then the last 2 I haven't done 0. That's the problem, I've at least touched some of them, but the last 2 I've not done 0. So I guess next year the plan will be to prioritize this stuff at the bottom. The DJ live streams, of course, I want to do them because I want to be a professional paid DJ playing in good clubs and festivals and shit. Obviously, as a side gig, not as a main thing, but I still want to do it. And the only way to do it is to make more mixes, put out more clips. Bloody blah blah, haul yourself out on social media, the standard shit. And then to learn German and Spanish, I want to do that because I travel to those countries quite often, whether it's fucking mainland China, whether it's Spain, whether it's Spanish speaking countries in Central and South America and shit. I want to go there more often, so I need that. And obviously German, you know what it is. I go to Berlin all the time, so that makes more sense. So I need to do these 2, and then the rest of them I'm obviously going to follow through next year. So haven't done all of them, but I've done some. Haven't done all of them, but I've done some. We are trying. We are putting one foot in front of the other. That's the most important thing. Let's continue. Big up Nike. The Black Cat Jordan 4s are coming out at the end of the year. Oh, no, the end of the week, sorry. I think on Saturday. I saw on Sneakers Up. I think they're dropping on a Saturday. Don't hold me to that. Let me actually double check, but I'm pretty sure they're dropping on Saturday. I'm pretty sure. Weirdly enough, I saw them promoted on JD Sports and shit as well. So these are going to be everywhere, unfortunately. No, actually on Friday. They're dropping on the 28th. I apologize. They're dropping on the Friday. Available in kids and all that malarkey. So that should be good. But I'm so looking forward to them. I have a pair from when they come out last? Was it 2024? Yeah, I have a pair from 2024 that I've absolutely battered. Actually, let me show you mine. Let me fucking show you mine that I fucking battered over the years, because it'll give you an idea of what time I'm on, you get me? But I need to get a new pair. I desperately need a new pair, because mine are fucking battered and they're not that comfortable because they're a bit small. They're a US 10. They're a UK 10. I'm not a UK 10. I'm definitely a fucking UK 11. My feet have unfortunately grown long, which is fucking annoying as it is. But hey, what can you do? But these are mine. These are my 2014. Is it 2014s? Is it 20? Oh no, maybe 2022. My bad. Maybe I bought them in 2022. These are my 2022 ones. Let me actually get it up on you so you can see it. These are my 2022 ones right there. You see them? Those are my 2022 versions of the Jordan 4 Black Cats, which I've unfortunately absolutely destroyed over the years too, by the way. Can you see them there? They've actually been destroyed. The soles are all fucked up, I think I might have a hole in the back. I've got some writing on there on the inside, stop begging and HBM and shit and blah, 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 Yeah, I've absolutely battered these. But I can't wait because I want to get them without the fucking Jumpman. I need the fucking Nike Air. I need that Nike Air because these have the Nike Air. I need that Nike Air. Give me that fucking Nike Air, man. Look at the back of these. Look at the heel. You see that? That's what I don't have. I need the Nike Air. I'm not a fan of the Jumpman. I need that Nike Air, man. So yeah, I'm going to try and get these on Saturday. Let's see if I'm lucky. I'm not really lucky when it comes to sneakers app and shit. I never get lucky. Weirdly enough, the only time I've only got lucky with the sneakers app was back in the day with the fucking Off-White Jordan 1s, you know? The Off-White Jordan 1s, the fucking first ones, the bread ones, those are the only ones I actually won. I won 2 pairs of those. Resold them both, but I won 2 fucking pairs, man. And apart from that, I've not really been that lucky. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, man, is hoping that I get lucky with these Black Cat 4s, but they're so fucking lovely. And what I like about them the most too is the shape. So if, in case you don't know, Jordan decided to, I guess Nike Skateboarding decided to make a version of the Jordan 4 that was skateboarding, you know, worthy and stuff. So they updated the shape. And, you know, they made them a bit sleeker on the front. I think they're a bit more comfortable based on what I heard people say. But the shape is a lot more reminiscent to how they originally came out is it 87? I think they originally come out in 87. I forgot when Tinker Hatfield designed these, but I think it might have been 87 or something. Anyway, regardless, the OG shape of the Jordan 4s is really like, it's really like triangular and like aggressive and nice and boxy and stuff. So the Jordan 4 SB is similar, you know, in terms of the toe box is a bit lower. It's not as bulbous as probably mine is a little bit. Mine, as you can tell, mine's a bit long. I'm not sure if you can tell it because this is real nerd sneaker shit, but mine is a bit long, the fucking, you know, the toe box. And the Jordan 4 and the SB one is a bit like, you know, it's a little bit more sleeker. It kind of drops down a little bit. So that shape overall is fucking beautiful. I love everything about it. I really want to get a pair, and I'm hoping, fingers fucking crossed, I'm hoping that these are available and easy to purchase because I want them. I have heard of people complaining about the squeak. There's a weird squeak when you wear them. I think the squeak comes from the plastic wings, if I'm not mistaken. I think so, when they rub against this, but I don't give a fuck. Squeak or no squeak, I'm buying them. Squeak or no squeak, I'm fucking want them. I want to wear them so fucking badly. Such a fucking great shoe. Black Cat Jordan 4s, you can't go wrong. And in general too, I'm a little bit of a whore when it comes to black shoes anyway. I'm a little bit of a whore when it comes to black shoes. All black shoes, I'm all over them. All black shoes, I am fucking all over them. So I really, really cannot wait for when they do eventually drop. I really, really cannot wait. Talking about stuff I can't wait, or talking about stuff I can wait to buy, talking about stuff that I fucking hate. Have you guys seen these? Pharrell's limited edition 18 karat gold Louis Vuitton Timberland boots. I personally think these are incredibly naff. Incredibly naff. I feel like he's done Timberlands before. I don't understand why we're still getting these. It feels like it's been done to death. At the moment, at the time of speaking, I feel like Timberlands have already run its course. I feel like the whole big baggy jeans, big baggy light denim jeans, Timberland look has been done to the ground. It's been beaten like a dead fucking horse. It's over. It's overkill. I've always been a big hater of Timberlands anyway, I'm not gonna lie. I've been a real big hater of Timberlands. I think they might be one of the most overrated pieces of footwear that have been ever designed. Super, super, super overrated. Maybe overrated to the level of like, what else is overrated? Like a tassel loafer, like a penny loafer. I think penny loafers are kind of overrated. I think Oxford Brooks are probably kind of overrated. What else? I think, weirdly enough, even though I have a couple, I think Chelsea boots, not gonna lie, I think Chelsea boots are kind of overrated, especially the way some people wear them, where they tuck the back of the jeans so they can see the fucking, you know, the little fucking hook strap thing, or they wear skinny jeans, or they tuck the tongue behind the jeans. Like, I think all those boots are really overrated, and they only usually work on certain people with a certain silhouette and a certain body shape. Not everybody that wears a Timberland can make them look good, unfortunately. It's one of those weird boots. But I've always said, and I'm gonna die on this hill, right? I'm gonna fucking die on this hill. I've always fucking said that I personally think, me personally, nobody else is gonna fucking make me change this opinion. I think Dr. Martin boots are better than fucking Timberlands. I will take a pair of Dr. Martens. What are they? Dr. Martens. What are they? Dr. Martens 14. What are they? 1460s? Are they that? Yeah, these. I'll take a pair of Dr. Martin 1460s, right? Maybe it's because I'm from the UK, right? Maybe it's because I'm from fucking the UK, right? Maybe it's because I'm from the fucking UK. But I'll take a pair of these over a pair of Timberlands any day of the week. Any day of the week. And have you seen these in brown? Have you seen the classic Timberlands in brown? So the classic Dr. Martens in brown. They make them in brown too, if I'm not mistaken, right? So if I do 1460 brown, right? Brown boot. Look, they make them in brown too. And I think these also are better looking than fucking Timberlands. Where are they? Sorry, I'm about, no, not 1460. There they are here. I think even these are better looking than fucking Timberlands. No cap, no fucking rap cap. I think even these blood clots are better than those. I personally do think they're better. I would go over it 100%. And the thing as well I like about Dr. Martens, I personally think Dr. Martens are way more versatile and also easier to wear with your outfits. Like I don't think I've ever seen a single person wear a pair of Dr. Martens and they don't look good. Whether you strap them really tight, whether you have them all loose like trainers, whether you wear them laceless, whether you wear them with skinny jeans, baggy jeans, shorts, like all the gay techno guys in Berlin, right? They like to wear them with like denim shorts, really cut short, and white Adidas socks pulled up, hairy legs and the boots. It looks fucking fantastic. You can't go wrong with a Dr. Martin. Whether you have them brand new like that, whether you have them beat up like how I did, whether you have them like the Jaden boot, like the one that's a bit taller with the double soled out, also used to have back in the day, you cannot go wrong. And if I'm not mistaken, because I used to work for Dr. Martens back in the day, right? I used to fucking work for Dr. Martens back in the day. And I remember they had there's like a vegan leather option of the 1460. So even if your feet get bled up and cut up with these, you can get the vegan leather ones that are just buttery. They're super buttery. Obviously it's synthetic and they're, you know, not the greatest, but still, if you want a easy wear, you get these. But I'm not the biggest fan of Timberlands. I think they look so awful. And even worse, with this fucking gaudy Louis Vuitton monogram pattern, the gold eyelets, the fucking gold embossed fucking logo, the LV fucking logo on the fucking tongue as well. Like, I can imagine that tongue is gonna droop so hard because that LV logo, which is kind of smart actually how he did it. He kind of did the LV logo so that when you have it up, the LV logo is upright, and obviously when you flip the tongue down, that's the style people wear it, right? You're meant to flip the tongue down a little bit and have the jeans over here. It also shows the LV logo on there, right? That's kind of a cool little touch. But if you're gonna put two pieces of hardware on either side of a tongue, I can imagine it's gonna make the tongue very floppy. So the whole structural integrity of the shoe kind of goes out the window. You're gonna have a shoe that you paid 18 grand for, that's all fucking floppy, you know? That's all flopping around. Me, not a fan. Think they're very overrated, not that great. I feel like he's done these already. If anything, you know what I preferred? When he did the Timberlands in the original wheat color with the fucking LV monogram stamped on the leather, embossed on the leather. I thought that was a really good look because it was kind of subtle. It looked like it would wear in really well over time. But I think just in general, the whole Timberland thing is done. Like move on, man. Do a new collaboration. Make something new. I don't know. Try to do a Red Wing or something. Try make Red Wings cool. That'd be pretty cool, right? If you collaborate with Red Wings, try make Red Wings cool. Try and do something else. Why is he still making Timberlands? Like I don't get why he keeps repeating stuff. Like it's like the flares. I feel like the flares haven't gone since the first time he did collection with Louis Vuitton, Pharrell. Then also, what's the other thing he's done a collaboration with? The fucking, what's it called? The Digicamo. The Digicamo's still there. I feel like the beanies, they all look the same as well. It feels, I don't know. I'm not sure if they allow him to do that, but it feels like he keeps making the same thing, but with different tweaks, you know? But yeah, very overrated. Very, very overrated. Not that great. What's it said on the inside? There's a label here that says Louis Vuitton limited edition pair. Oh, okay. That's not bad. They actually number, because this is something that you don't get with a lot of people. They actually number the shoes individually. It says here there's one of 50. Is there only 50 made? Only 50 are made in quantity. Fucking hell. 15 of 50. So allegedly there's only 50 of these are made. I guess they may be handmade too, probably. I'm assuming they're probably handmade, right? I'm assuming they're probably handmade, but who knows? The box is awful. Is that the box? You want me to pay 18 grand and that's the box you give me? That box is pretty shit, I'm not gonna lie. It's meant to look like a trunk. It's like a trunk with like a clear perspex window in the front with like a I don't like that. That box is awful. If anything, I'd want that box to have screens all over it. Yeah, I mean, go the extra mile. Give me the screens all over the entirety of the box. Make it, I don't know, make it crystal or something. Like that's not good enough, man. That is not good enough for 18,000. I'm not gonna lie. 18,000 for that is just not good enough in my personal opinion. But again, what do I know? Let's roll the dice. Oh no, it's not 18,000. Sorry, my bad. It's an 18 karat gold, but it's actually 85 grand. Wow. It's nearly 100 grand for these. 100 grand. Are you insane? They are awful, bro. You could, if you wanted to, right? You could probably get shoe surgeon or one of these customizers to make you a pair for way less than that. He probably wouldn't charge you more than 5 grand, I don't think. One of those guys that does like the shoes where he kind of takes them apart and builds them from the ground up with like an original, you give him like a Louis Vuitton Kelly bag or something with the material. Maybe you have to buy a couple. He could probably construct you a boot for far less than this. 85 grand. Wow. What to say here? The ultra exclusive rumored final pair. Oh, okay, it's the final pair of the whole entire collaboration. 18 karat gold Louis Vuitton Timberland boot designed by Pharrell has surfaced in Tokyo. Only 50 examples exist and each one is sold inside a custom Louis Vuitton trunk retailing for approximately $85,000. The design features rich Italian leather with LV floral stamps and gold Timberland tree logos contrasting with a gum outsole. The fashion world is rejoiced. So, okay, cool. Adding to there's more pictures here from a person called T McFly who has a pair. It looks like fair play, man. Fair fucking play. But I think they're absolutely awful. And if I'm being honest, I think these are a waste of money. An absolute waste of money. They're not going to age well because Timberlands are kind of trendy now. So they're not the most, they're not the most timeless thing you're going to have in your wardrobe. In a couple of years, they're going to look so gaudy, so awful. You're not going to want to wear them anymore. So I think those are fucking terrible. And just the finish of them as well isn't that great, you know? Just the finish of them alone as well isn't really that impressive. So really fucking shit. Really obvious too, I personally think. Not really kind of pushing the envelope in any way, shape or form. And it just feels like another boring, repetitive thing that he's kind of done. I'm not really for it. In the slightest, I'm not really for it personally. I am not fucking really for it. But again, what do I know when it comes to this stuff? Absolutely nothing. I know absolutely nothing. Next thing I want to talk about was this actually. Let me see if I can find it. One thing I want to talk about was Pharrell. You remember he made those comments regarding the DEI hire? And he was like, oh yeah, I want to win. I want to get a role doing something because I deserve the role and not because I'm black or da-da-da-da. Well, he received a lot of backlash for that comment, naturally. And I guess Pharrell reached out to Van Lathan to basically assure him that what he said at that kind of, I think it was like a black women sort of like symposium thing, whatever he said in that kind of conference was taken out of context. I don't personally think it was. I think he meant to say what he meant to say. I think, and I know many people out there that have worked in the creative industries can definitely attest to this. For whatever reason, I don't know what this is. Maybe it's crabs in a barrel mentality, but I'm sure people that work in the creative industries who are minorities can attest to this, that whenever you work in those industries, people that work there, like the older people, they have very warped and very odd perception on, like, you know, DEI or just in inclusivity in general. They're not the kind of people that kind of pull their hand back to lift you up. They're not going to leave the door open or like slightly ajar. They're not going to share codes. Even though they might have been hired on the basis of their fucking skin color, on the basis of their fucking cultural background and what they could bring, they'll look at you as maybe a threat and kind of just spout this idea or this ideology or this fucking message that you have to earn your place, pull yourself up by a bootstrap. This is a meritocracy. There's no participation trophies. When sometimes in some industries, even though I'm very against participation trophies, I think in some industries, when there's very little diversity, very little inclusion, you sometimes have to force that kind of thing through. It's like what Oxford and Cambridge have done. Oxford and Cambridge University over the years have always had programs that allow people from disadvantaged areas, right, essentially working class people, to have the opportunity to go and study at Oxford and Cambridge. It's not for everybody. You have to meet a certain criteria. You still have to fucking get the fucking qualifications and have the fucking grades and blah, 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 blah. But having that program is what ensures that you have a university that kind of represents, or is kind of representative of the entire breadth of the United Kingdom, kind of in terms of education and societal class and stuff. And it also makes for a far more interesting university. For the people that go there, they can learn from other people from all different walks of life, instead of having the same type of person going to university because only a certain type of person can afford to go, right? So in some occasions, DEI type initiatives are kind of important because it allows fresh voices, new people to come into the industry, to kind of mix things up a little bit, shake things up a little bit, offer a different perspective, different fucking whatever idea, represent from a different type of people, blah, 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 blah. And naturally also inspire future generations to maybe go down that path too. Because all it takes, because who knows, even to this day, right? To this day, who fucking knows the amount of people Virgil inspired just walking at the end of the runway? Forget where he did it, whether it was like Louis Vuitton or Off-White or wherever. Forget if you like what he did or not, and you think he was a shit designer or not. Just the mere fact that a black man from Ghana was fucking walking down the fucking runway at the end could probably have inspired millions of kids to be like, you know what? I want to get in photography. I want to start a magazine. I want to have a brand. So it's really important. And I think it's even more important when you're the person that gets that opportunity to honor that opportunity by also telling others that, hey, this is possible. Because if I did it, you can do it too. Instead of getting on your soapbox like Pharrell did and be like, oh yeah, you have to earn your place. It's like, brother, like, you didn't earn your place. You're not even a fucking designer. You know what I mean? And you got the Louis Vuitton job based on what Virgil did. Like, he kind of laid the blueprint. He kind of opened the door. He unfortunately passed away. LVMH was smart. They're like, hey, let's get somebody who's culturally relevant and has the pulse of the nation and the kids in the palm of his hands, and it's kind of cool. So they got you to be kind of the figurehead. I'm sure he doesn't do the entirety of the designing anyway, but still, it was an important thing. So it was really disrespectful, I thought, the way he kind of poo-poo DEI. I was like, I get it. It's not in vogue at the moment, right? I get it. Everyone's kind of anti-work and anti-this. I get it. It's fine. No problem. And it also, in some industries, maybe the whole fucking DEI stuff went too far. I understand. But acknowledge your blessing, man. Acknowledge it's a gift, you know? And pay it back a little bit, innit? Pay it back, pay it forward, whatever, but acknowledge it. But anyway, long story less long. Pharrell reached out to Van Lathan to tell him that what he said on that stage was taken out of context. Let's play what he told Van Lathan.
And this is what Pharrell communicated to me as we spoke. Number one, he feels like the context of where he was and what he was talking about is not being considered. Pharrell was doing a talk for a Black Ambition initiative that he has. The intent of this initiative is to invest into Black and brown entrepreneurship, lots of money, over $85 million to invest into DEI programs, diversity inclusion programs, and make sure that the people behind these programs get exactly what they need. What he meant to say and was trying to say, as Pharrell told me, is that politics, which he was specifically talking about right versus left politics, not the overall example of what it means to be politically knowledgeable or engaged. He's talking about right versus left politics and how right versus left politics typically leave people behind. It's divisive because it doesn't get at the heart of an issue. It is a fight for political power. That is something that he doesn't want to be a part of. What he wants to be a part of is empowering people to go out and live their dreams and execute the things that they are talented in. That is one part of it. The other part of it, in terms of him talking about being the best is what he was saying is that the only thing you are going to have to fall back on, if in fact DEI is dismantled, is how great you are. And that greatness is going to be the thing that you are going to have to invest into in terms of yourself, if in fact there is no DEI, which is why he has the organization that he has, is because he wants to give everybody the opportunity to be the best. This is what I would say. For everyone that's like Pharrell, he's someone that has had a tremendous amount of influence and success over the course of a phenomenal career. For everyone that is like Pharrell, for everyone that actually cares about people and wants to help people, have someone that you can have conversations with around situations or things that you are uninitiated on. Because not everybody is meant to be able to speak on these things. And he said that that's not his thing. His thing is not speaking on issues like this.
One of the first things he said.
His thing is not speaking on issues. So then the question is, if you are him, what do you do to make sure that things like this that are subtracting to your overall goal, that those things don't happen? I talked to Pharrell Williams.
Man, big up Van Lathan, man. He's a good guy. I like him, but that's a lot of bullshit. That's a whole crock of shit. Number one, if you're going to get on stage and you're going to talk about these very, I won't say complex, but, you know, these nuanced, layered, somewhat emotional, somewhat important topics, at least know what you're talking about. At least know how to articulate yourself properly. If you cannot articulate yourself properly, like, he doesn't have to, like, I'm not somebody, I don't agree with what Luis Pisano says. Big up my guy, Luis Pisano. I love him. Big up Luis Pisano. But I don't agree with Luis Pisano that Pharrell should be saying something. Or, like, you know, I think in his article, he kind of made it seem as if, like, Pharrell is like a, he goes out of his way not to say nothing, to not upset people, to kind of carry favor with brands. I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing to be like Travis Scott, to be just like a blank slate that people can stick wherever they want on top of you. You have no real politics or opinion on anything. You don't really get involved in world politics or current affairs and whatever else it may be. You just do what you do. Not everybody has to comment on politics. Not everybody has to be politically engaged, societally engaged at all. I don't think you have to. Not everyone has to be an activist. You don't have to do that. You can lead by example by just leading by living your life. But if you're going to get on that stage and you're going to hold a microphone and you're going to talk about these type of things, and you're going to tell a room full of people that, oh, you shouldn't just support black business for supporting black business. You should support someone's great. Kind of insinuating that DEI is brother, like, shut up. Shut up. You obviously can't articulate yourself properly. You have to articulate yourself through somebody else. And also, he doesn't have the fucking, what's that thing called? The balls to face it up and be like, hey, I got it wrong. Let me clarify what I said myself. He's fucking siphoning or filtering his message through Van Lathan, because he knows Van Lathan is obviously well-spoken and articulate, and he can then tell us what he said and kind of give it like a PR spin and kind of make it sound a little better than what he actually said. But what he said was a bit messed up because he got the advantage. Yeah, he was definitely a precipitant of fucking DEI. He benefited from somebody else that looked like him, laying the groundwork, opening the door, leaving it slightly ajar, right? Or even just changing the temperature, changing the perception, because that might be the biggest thing. Maybe it wasn't even Virgil leaving the door ajar. Maybe it was most of the fact that Virgil, a black man, got the Louis Vuitton job that made fucking LVMH think, oh shit, we can give the job to somebody that's not that super experienced, doesn't have conventional or standard or traditional fucking fashion experience, and they can still kill it. Because obviously they've got a kind of a finger on the pulse. They know what's kind of going on. At that time that Virgil got the job, he was obviously at the pinnacle of fucking streetwear and shit, and that was influencing fashion. So it kind of probably made them tweak their thinking of who to get. So we can say with confidence that there's no way Pharrell gets that Louis Vuitton job if Virgil doesn't get it first. You know? So it's like, why are you kind of disgracing the gift that you've been given? Why are you also lying to the public and making it seem like everybody gets an opportunity based on merit alone? They don't. It would be awesome if we lived in a world where everybody got an opportunity based on merit alone, based on talent, based on hard work, based on tenacity, based on creativity, based on how good of a person they are, right? All that malarkey. But it's not. There's other factors involved too. And sometimes it's just pure luck. Like football, right? This is a football analogy to make. Marcus Rashford's career, if I'm not mistaken, Marcus Rashford's career at Man United was kind of pushed forward because there was a slew of injuries. When Van Gaal was at the club, I think, if I'm not mistaken, there was a slew of injuries, and then Rashford had to play because he was the only registered striker at the club. By that time, he was like 18 or something. He plays one game, smashes it, and the rest is history. So he had to, the only way that his career is what it is now, because he benefited from other people failing in a way. People getting injured. People maybe not playing well, that gave him the chance to sort of like, play, obviously take his opportunity and run. So sometimes the DEI stuff, it's not as if like anyone is saying, oh, just hire somebody black or brown or whatever minority for this job. Don't care about their ability. No, the point is you have a history of like the same type of person having this job for a million fucking years. Let's maybe shake things up a little bit. Let's maybe, I don't know, make something new, offer it to somebody else who has a different life experience, who can maybe funnel some of that life experience into the fucking brand and present maybe different stuff to the audience or to the customers who may probably like it, who may like it, who may not. But you're giving it to somebody that probably would be overlooked because they're from where they are. But they still got talent, they still got ability. And I think everybody, especially somebody that's like Pharrell, maybe his message should be, hey, DEI is an opportunity, but don't take it for granted. Don't take the opportunity and then what some people do, I've seen this recently, this politician in America, I forgot her name, this black lady who's getting in trouble. She took the money that she's meant to be taking to give in for relief funds or whatever it may be and spending it, doing loads of fucking fraud shit. Don't do that, right? If you become a DEI hire and they fucking appoint you the mayor of a fucking state somewhere in America at a super young age and you're black and it's something crazy and they do it because, they want a different representation and shit in their state, don't take that for granted. Don't fucking do the dumb thing and then start fucking scamming. Of course, take the opportunity and make it work, make it beneficial, give back to your community. You know what I mean? Prove your fucking doubters wrong. That's what you should have been telling people. Like, if you get an opportunity that you probably like just off the strength of like what you fucking look like, take advantage of it. That's what you should be doing. Not, oh, everybody should earn their spot. It's like, brother, you didn't earn your spot either. Let's be real. Not in terms of talent. You earned it through other things, which is great, but still, come on, man. So I like Pharrell, don't get me wrong. Obviously a legend. Obviously I grew up fucking, watching this guy do his thing and stuff, but sometimes when he talks, it's a bit mad. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes when this guy talks, it's a bit mad. So he'll probably do us and everybody else favor if he just stops talking. Personally speaking, if he just stopped talking. Talking about stop talking, big up bloody Jake Wolf. Jake Wolf posted this on Twitter, which I thought was really interesting. He said, just scrolled through the entire Nike website and genuinely did not see a single pair of shoes that compelled me. I did, however, see lots of shoes that made me think, what the fuck? The swoosh is so very lost. And yes, they are. This is why I've said, and I will continue to say, I'm really happy people like Salili Bembry and John Geiger exist and others who have decided, instead of, pallying up with Nike or just doing, a never ending slew of retros, they went down their own path, especially in John Geiger's case, in terms of making a whole slew of different models and shoes. Salili Bembry recently dropped his own shoes that I have, the sponges and stuff. So I love that we're seeing more of that going forward, because unfortunately, for whatever reason, Nike seem to be just devoid of any new cool shoes and silhouettes. Everything is a retro, and then the new shoes that they do have, right? Because these are that's a retro, that Blazer Low, but the rest of the shoes that they do have that are new are fucking ugly and awful, like super ugly and awful. Like nobody, with sense would buy any of these things. Which is not surprising, because nowadays, if you go to your city center or wherever, young kids kind of congregate and you look down at what they're wearing, you won't see a lot of Nike, That's the interesting thing. You'll see people wearing Timberland boots. You'll see people wearing fucking Asics, New Balance, whatever else it is. But Nike doesn't have a stranglehold on the kids as it used to. When I grew up, Nike was everything. Nike was fucking everything. We all wanted to work for the brand. We all fucking sucked off the brand. We were obsessed with it. We knew the fucking catalog or their fucking, their archive of fucking shoes back to front, We could read labels and find out where the shoe was manufactured from. We were fucking experts in breaking down the material of the fucking midsoles, replacing midsoles with the polyurethane cracked, storing the boxes, colorway designs, regional exclusive like co-JPs, like crazy shit. We were so invested in this stuff. But then over the years, they just kind of rested on their laurels. They took it for granted. They took the fucking hold they had on the sneaker community for granted. And now all these other brands are popping up. Even Saucony are doing bits. Saucony are fucking doing bits now. And Nike's just like floundering. That's why I'm thinking that whole rumor. There was a rumor that came out the other day, actually, which I'll get onto later, about fucking Travis Scott supposedly moving to Adidas. Like, Nike have to do everything in their power. They have to back up the Brinks truck. They have to fucking back up the Brinks truck and give Travis whatever the fuck he wants. Because if they lose Travis Scott, they're kind of fucked. If they lose Travis Scott, who doesn't really do that many innovative things with Nike anymore anyway, and Jordan, so mostly the same shit, right? The Jordan 1s, lows and highs and stuff, not really anything interesting, but still, he has a grip on the kids. Just recently, that pair that just dropped the other day, the Fragment ones, I think they said it was the most amount of raffle entries ever, I think, if I'm not mistaken. The most amount of, I think it was like something million, I don't know, something crazy amount. Maybe it was 4.4 million. I think the figure was 4.4 million raffle entries for the Jordan 1 Fragment, Travis Scott lows that came out the other day. So if they lose him to Adidas, they are fucked because there's nobody else bringing the heat. And I think that's a problem. I think if you're Nike, you should have a base collection, like a generic collection of shoes that get sold at Shoe, that get sold at Office, that gets sold at Size, that gets sold at JD Sports, that is solid outside of the collabs. Because at the moment it feels like Nike's brand is like relying on collabs, relying on limited edition shoes. But they should have a basic catalog that is really good of new shoes that people just are into. But they don't really. No new silhouettes, no new nothing, just the same old fucking garbage. So big up Jake Wolf for highlighting that. That also got me thinking about John Geiger's new shoes that he just dropped, actually. Big up Blood Clot John Geiger. These are already sold out, so I'm just mentioning it just as a heads up, just to kind of give you an idea what they're about. But they're already sold out, so they don't even, you know what I mean? It's not even something to get bothered about. But the 005 Hyper Greens. For me, these aren't my favorite. These aren't my favorite. I prefer mostly the skate ones that hopefully will come out later when they are fucking on them 100% when they drop. But still, the silhouette, the color, the design, beautiful. Like, you can't say that you've seen a silhouette or a shape like this anywhere else from another brand. You know, it's an interesting shoe. It kind of gives you different questions. You know, it kind of challenges you in terms of how you're gonna wear them. Like, it's just an interesting shoe to see, and it kind of mixes things up a little bit and maybe gets you excited to put on a new pair of shoes again instead of having the same old shape and silhouettes on your feet. I fucking love them. I fucking love what he's doing there. I also love the color. The first color coming out being a super bright neon green is a great look. You got the 005 here on the side. You got the tubular, somewhat laces, kind of remind you of SBs. You got this mesh design on the upper as well, which I really love too. I think this is a printed design. I'm not sure. I don't think this is any technology or anything. I think it's just a print design. It would be cool if this was Flywire though. I'm sure it will cost way more, but this would be cool if this whole thing was Flywire. Like, imagine like a Flywire-esque kind of design where this was like little cords underneath or embedded into the fabric, so that when you pull, that's how Flywire worked, I think, back in the day. It was like all these cords that were kind of embedded into maybe the footbed and the upper and shit. So when you pulled on the laces to tighten it, it was sort of like, you know, wrap around your feet. But I think these are more lifestyle and less running, so probably you don't need that. But still, beautiful fucking shoe. You know what I love the most about them? Maybe I think it's the midsole. I like the midsole design mostly the most. I'm not gonna lie. The midsole design is really fucking interesting. You got this really high arch here. I'm assuming there's some sort of tech involved here on the arch support. And then you've got this really bulbous heel bit design on the back as well, which is also really cool looking. So it's a really interesting and cool design of a shoe. I really fucking, the only thing I'd do differently, if it was me and I was involved in the design process, maybe the only thing I would do differently, I'd maybe make the lace, the eyelets not holes, and maybe loops instead of holes. I think that'd probably sit better, so it'd be like you have this clean line on the sides, you know? That's what I'd probably do. Or maybe just have a cover that covers that bit, because you can have it, you know, you can have a little cover that covers this lace bit. But I think I'd have some lace loops to kind of give this clean seam design here on the side. but I fucking love them. Really nice, really well done. The outsole also is really cool as well. Bright green with all the lines on them too. You got this nice little foam, exposed foam bit here with the cutout in the middle, which is really cool too. I ain't mad at them at all. I ain't mad at them. So big up fucking John Geiger, 004s. I'm pretty sure they already sold out last time I checked. Let me double check though. I'm pretty sure they sold. Yeah, already sold out. Dunzo. Look at that. Love it, innit? Love to see it, by the way. Actually, you know what? I need another pair of black ones. The black ones have gone in it. I need to get a bigger pair of these fucking black ones. That's what I need to get. There's the black ones I originally got. I need to get a big. Are these still? Oh no, they're all gone. So all the black ones are definitely gone, and the one that I had before. So I need to get a bigger pair of these. This is the one I need a bigger pair. The original Stealth. That's a fucking Hall of Fame colorway. Hall of fucking Fame colorway. But yeah, big up John Geiger. Unfortunately, the 005s are sold out. But there should be more coming out soon, I'm assuming, probably. But all sold out already. And I think he said it sold out in a few minutes as well. A couple minutes, all gone. 145.2 for a new silhouette. Like, why wouldn't you take that chance? Why wouldn't you take that chance? I fucking get it. I fucking get it. Big up John Geiger. Moving on quickly. Let's talk about women. Women and lack of accountability. Wagwan for this, yes sir. Wagwan for this, yes sir. Big up Remain Relevant. Zoe Spencer, you know who she is. Zoe Spencer, well-known live streamer girl that used to hang out with all the Kai Cenat guys and that, but she got in a bit of passa with those guys because part of her thing, her brand, her whatever, her persona is that she's really aggressive. She's kind of a tomboy. Not kind of, she is a tomboy. She's got that kind of energy about her. She kind of, you know, aggressive, gets in guys' face, barks, does this sort, you know, has a deep voice thing going on, whatever. So when she was hanging out with those guys, she was doing all that malarkey, and I guess she got a little bit too excited and she started to freak out some of the guys. So she's the female version of scaring the hoes. So I guess in her case, it's scaring the bros. She scared all the bros from DDG to fucking Kai Cenat to Drewski to, I can't think of somebody else, Duke Dennis. Everybody, they all got scared and they all kind of like, you know, put a arm's length. Then the whole streamer university thing happened, and that Kai Cenat course, or the kind of half reality TV show type of thing going on live stream. She applied to get in, and they denied her entry. They denied her application, and she was sobbing, crying about it on social media, which was really sad, to be honest. But then when she cried about it and got emotional, Kai Cenat decided to kind of break the ice and tell people wagwan. And he obviously revealed that, yeah, one time he was with her and she just kind of was doing too much. And she kind of made him feel basically uncomfortable. And he basically vowed from that day on, he wouldn't work with her again. And here we are. Everyone kind of doesn't like her and stuff. But to be fair to her, when Kai Cenat did say that, she did come out and apologize pretty well. She kind of owned it, took responsibility, took accountability and apologized. But I guess the problem happened when the other live streamer called Soul Luminati or Soulminati, when he came online and he reacted to her and he started spilling some more kind of goss. And he got really, you know, he's well known for being really good at fucking ripping into people. And he said some stuff that she didn't like. She didn't crash out on him. And she went crazy. And people didn't like that. They're like, oh my God, this girl's a fucking whatever. And since then, she's been on a, fuck you guys. I'm going to be the way that I am. You guys just don't like how I act because I'm a woman. If I was a man, you wouldn't care. She's been on that kind of tip. And it's really sad because at the end of the day, the reason why she's kind of been ostracized by a lot of those kind of content creators she'd want to be friends with, like the kind of black creators in that kind of AMP, phase adjacent, wherever DDG's crew's called crew, is because she's a bit annoying and she's a bit too much. If she just would have accepted accountability and moved on, it would have been fine. So whatever. There's a new clip here where she kind of speaks about the whole thing and again refuses to take accountability. And I think she's kind of making it worse for herself.
People, they could criticize you for like how you are, they say you're obnoxious in your content. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, I can see how obnoxious is being, can be annoying to the consumer. But then I sit back and think, and I'm like, yo, all of the people that like stood out, all of the men that stood out that was obnoxious, they kind of like rose to fame real quick. I think of people like Asho Speed, Casanat, even people like DJ Academics.
I wouldn't say they're obnoxious though, are they? Like, that's a poor way to define, or maybe he doesn't know the definition of obnoxious. But I wouldn't necessarily say Asho Speed and all those guys are obnoxious. You might not like their content, but I don't think they're obnoxious. The problem that Zoe Spencer has is that she's coming across unlikable. And unfortunately, when it comes to like live streaming and stuff, people have to like you to give a shit, you know? They kind of have to like you to watch what you got to do. If you're unlikable and annoying, people aren't going to watch you. If that's your entire brand, especially, you know? That's the problem that she has. But I could be wrong.
Like, all people that's at the top of their game. But I don't think nobody, like, criticized them for...
At all.
Yeah. So, like, do you think...
And I do, like, I would literally do, like, the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I'm trying to do the same thing, but that's just who I am. And it's like, she's doing too much. She's overly doing too much. She's annoying. She's loud and da-da-da. But they doing the same thing. And nobody said nothing over there. You know what I mean? But I don't care. Because this is how I was born. Like, I can't take it. I can't fake the funk. Like, this is how I am. I've been like this all of my life.
I hate people that say stuff like that. I've been like this all of my life. Well, people don't like it. Can you change it? This is how I've always been. Maybe change it because people are saying they don't like how you act. All she had to do, in my opinion, all she had to do was acknowledge what was said, take accountability and responsibility, apologize profusely, and try not to repeat those same mistakes going forward. That was it. You don't have to be friends with those guys and shit, but at least taking some accountability, responsibility for maybe how your actions have, you know, affected people, or maybe how it's made them look at you and maybe judge you incorrectly or whatever you think. That's how you move on and evolve. Not by just, you know, convincing yourself. It's basically gaslighting yourself into believing that everybody else is the problem and not you. Plus she says, I do everything else everyone else does. No, you don't. The things that she does, like, who else bites people? Wasn't that a big part of why people were like getting annoyed and weirded out by her? She had this like thing that she did where she bite people and she act like a dog and whatever. Who does that? Who's like smashing stuff, getting overly in people's face, screaming, shouting? No one does that. So I think she's I guess she's kind of diminishing the stuff that she was doing that was annoying people. And it's really unfortunate because this could be easily resolved. It's not that deep of an issue, you know? Just accept responsibility, try and do better next time, and maybe show it with your actions, you know? No, don't just get on camera and go, because she's on a bit of a press tour to try and change her image and try to convince people that she's not annoying. But surely you change people's opinion on you by your actions and not by your words. Maybe. I don't know. You know, I'm just a guy talking out of my arsehole. Another clip showing some lack of woman accountability, which again, I think is brilliant to see, because I think guys have their thing, right? Guys have their thing. Maybe we have this too much of a logical brain where everything that happens in life we have to kind of solve, right? We can never just observe or just talk or ponder. We're probably not the best when it comes to sharing and being emotional and blah 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 blah. But one thing I've noticed, especially on social media, the galdom have no ability to have any type of accountability. Like, I think some of the galdom on social are like, you know that meme that has the guy cycling and then he puts a stick in the front tire and it kind of falls. Like, why'd you do that to me? And it's like, brother, you did that to yourself. Or sister, you did that to yourself. So this is one of them. This particular lady is a, I guess you'd call her a dating influencer. She goes on dates and then she goes on her social media and will recap and review the dates. And, you know, and I guess some guys don't like that shit, right? They're not going to like you dating them and then telling the whole world how the date went in exhaustive detail. So she lined up a date with a guy, but then he canceled last minute because he found her TikTok. And now she's basically making it everyone else's problem and not hers. She's blaming social media for this and not the fact that she has created a brand, a platform where she kind of airs guys dirty laundry out. And now she's kind of, you know, suffering the consequences of it. Let's play the clip.
My date just canceled on me tonight because he found my TikTok. And that's really, really unfortunate because this is like the first time where social media has been like a detriment. Not a detriment, but has like negatively harmed me.
This is where I love how she says social media as opposed to the stuff she posted on social media. This is how social media has negatively affected me. Girl, it's your social media. Your social media has negatively affected you.
And it really sucks because obviously, you know, social media isn't always real, and a lot of my videos I'm putting on a personality. Like, I make videos to entertain. By no means is
it's
that
a prank.
who
It's a
I
prank
am as a person. And I mean, to be fair, you know, I respect that he was like, you know, just not my taste. But yeah, it really sucks because like we had great conversation and I was like actually like really, really looking forward to it.
That's why it's hurting her more. If this was like some stranger or some like, you know, some guy that wore her down, she definitely last minute gave an opportunity to. This was somebody that she actually liked. She probably saw a glimmer of maybe some type of future. Maybe, I don't know. But she was really interested in this person. That's why it's hurting her. But still, you gotta take the L on the chin, but you've also got to acknowledge that you're the one that caused the L because you have an entire feed probably full of you dishing the dirt on like XYZ guy and how that date went and rating it out of certain numbers or giving people grades and stuff. Like, some people don't like that. That's not cool.
Yeah, it sucks. It's the downside of doing social media is, you know, everything you post is going to be under scrutiny and a microscope, and it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah, please forgive me, right? But I've never used dating apps, right? I've never used dating apps. I'm very anti dating apps. I'm always more of a IRL type of guy or a DM type of guy. And even that I'm kind of like, you know, kind of getting off of, but still. I'd never understood the logic behind some of these girls online who share screenshots of like Hinge interactions. Don't get me wrong. Some of these interactions, some of these DMs I see are super funny and they make guys look awful. Right? Some of these fucking DMs. But I think it actually does more harm to the lady sharing those type of things because it kind of like will scare guys away because it's like, oh shit, you're one of those ones. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. Maybe a woman would like that to scare those type of guys away that are gonna like waste their time. But I think unfortunately you also might miss out on a guy that might have been a good person for you because you're putting too much info out there. You know what I mean? It's not. I don't know. I wouldn't personally do that. You know, maybe get someone first and then do that. You know, maybe. But I feel like there's a lot of these girls who are sharing too many of these screenshots and stuff. It's like you never know who is looking. Who is maybe out there, who's maybe, you know, got their eye on you or whatever, and then suddenly they see that, they're like, nah.
And I think it's really hard for me because I feel so much pressure to be perfect and to be like that, you know, girl that has a perfect life and, you know, everything's so cutesy and just in order. And it's moments like these where I feel like, oh shit, like they're right. Like I'm embarrassing or like I'm cringy.
Ooh, there we go. Good girl. There we fucking go. And not in a patronizing way. Oh, congratulations. There was a little sliver of acknowledgement and accountability there. A little one. I saw it. Well done. That's it. Good girl. Good fucking. She's maybe as she talks it through the disappointment, she's gonna maybe have a come to Jesus moment and kind of realize, oh shit, I'm the problem. I've got to change my behavior so I stop maybe potentially fucking up my dating opportunities. Good girl.
Or, you know, no one would ever want me. And it's like, it sucks because you've found my social media first before actually getting to know me.
Come on, girl. If you apply for a job at Tesco's, they're gonna Google your fucking name. They're gonna check you out on fucking LinkedIn. They're gonna look at your social media. Honestly, like that's what everyone kind of does anyway. I know people that do that in friendship groups, right? I know people that do that in friendship groups. Are like, hey, we want to merge the groups together. Come around my house for dinner. You'll have everybody in the fucking group chat. I know there's some people that look at people's names on WhatsApp, look at the people's names and shit, and then Google them to see who they are. Maybe stalk their profile a little bit and whatever. Everyone kind of does that. I personally don't because I think the people that do that are the same people that go through their Instagram stories and check who's watching and shit. I'm not that kind of person. I think that's fucking lame as fuck. Like, get a life, go outside, touch grass. It's not that deep. But there are some people that do that. And it's quite common. So for her to not think that somebody would Google her name is insane. That's why you have to be cautious of your fucking digital footprint. Especially, I think, as a woman, unfortunately. 'Cause I think women on social are probably judged way harsher than guys, right? I think so. Like, for instance, get a man and a woman, right, on social media. Have the guy have a picture on his social where he's mooning, right? Where he's got his trousers down mooning something. Have a woman do the same thing, and I think the woman's going to be looked down upon. So unfortunately, women have to move a little bit more cautiously online. And if you're out there talking, I think even the fact that she's got a social media feed where she reviews all her dates, to some guys, they may look at her and think she's a whore. You know, especially some of these like red-pilled, manosphere, incel adjacent guys. The mere fact that she has a whole list of fucking boxes where she reviews guys, every guy, some guy out there might be like, oh my God, each box is a body. This entire feed is a collection of bodies, you know, which it isn't, because she might not have fucked any of them. But some guy might look at you and think, oh my God, you're like, how many guys are you speaking to in a week? They might get scared that way. So you have to kind of like, if you're a girl, you basically have to lie online. That's the conclusion. Unfortunately, I think you have to lie as a girl. You have to lie as a girl. You have to make it seem like all you do is Pilates and read your books and go to work and hang out with your friends and go to cute art galleries and drink matcha. You have to lie. You can't really show social media that you're a city girl. Because if you do, you might potentially fuck up a future husband. You know? You kind of have to lie. Really, you really have to lie.
And if you actually knew like the real me, you would be like, wow, like there's something special about you. But I'm not here to convince anyone. Yo,
big up the stream chat. Big up the stream chat too. What you guys saying? I pulled picture from Yahoo chat in like 09, 06, long before that. Yeah. Any way you get it is how you get it. I wouldn't say that's a bad thing. Any way you get it is how you get it. I just don't agree with dating apps. I think dating apps are lame. I think dating apps are flipping lame. But anyhow you get it, I agree with it. Big up Young Old Vibes. I personally don't screenshot and share. I kind of consider it blackmailing. I personally would say my philosophy with DMing in general, I wouldn't say anything in a DM that I wouldn't say aloud in public. That's my thing. You know what I mean? There's no like secret like chat. You know what I mean? Whatever I'd say in a DM, I'd say with my whole chest in public. Which is why I don't tend to like say crazy shit, you know? Like, you know what I mean? And also, I personally think as a guy, you have to be careful with DMs too. Because you can't be one of those type of guys that just like says mad shit in the DMs and then gets offended when a girl shares it somewhere. Because that's her story to tell now. The moment you engage somebody in a DM, they have every right to share it with whoever they want to. The world, their friends, the fucking group chat, that's up to you. That's why you should just be kept cautious about who you slide DMs into. I think that's why in general, me going forward, especially for 2026, after I watched the video of Platform Max later, I think I'm on this tip of like no more DMs. Don't get me wrong, man will respond, but no more outward DMs. No more outward DMs. It doesn't matter who it is. It's not about a girl thing. It's just across the board. No more fucking DMs. I want to limit my digital footprint. I've even pulled back on liking stuff. Nowadays, I kind of bookmark shit to read later or whatever, or just see what I see. I just want to limit, because I hate sometimes when you go on social and you see, oh, Agostino's like, you know what I mean? From like years, it's like fucking hell, like you're leaving, it's like all these fucking breadcrumbs, all this fucking DNA, you know what I mean? This fucking trail of your presence. So I don't want to have any of that out there. So I think going forward from now in all 2026, no more outward bound DMs. Man will reply. You know what I mean? Reach out. I'm definitely going to reply and say, well, go on, but no more outward DMs. It's dead for that.
That I'm special. I think the right person would just know that immediately and, you know, want to get to know me first without painting a picture of me based on my profile.
You know, one thing people don't know about, if you're in the streets, you'll know. Only those real ones know about this. Only those real ones know about this one. What was that site that you could do the personals on? That was lit. That was lit back in the day. What was that site called again? It was like a board. Craigslist. That's it. Who knows about Craigslist? Who knows about Craigslist personals? Only real G's know about Craigslist personals. Yo, If you know, you know. That was a time. Unfortunately, RIP, but that was a fucking time.
But that's life. That's life. We all judge a book by its cover. And like, whether we realize it or not, we all judge people when we don't really know someone based off of their socials, you know? I mean, it's human nature. But yeah, no, it really sucks. So yeah, just wanted to share that, you know, social media isn't all sunshine and rainbows, and yeah, it definitely sucks. But I just have to trust in God that maybe just have peace with it, you know?
Aww.
And that what's not meant to be won't miss you. But
bless her, man. She's really bummed out, isn't it? This guy was definitely a potential. She was definitely feeling this guy. She was 100% feeling this guy. Bless her, man. That's a bummer. Like, there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than potential nyash being taken away from you last minute. There's nothing worse. It's better to get rejected outright. But a potential nyash, a potential link that was just there and it got pulled away from you. Nothing worse. I always say one of my worst ones that still kind of like, when I'll have a little think about it, stabs me in the heart, was one, there was a potential nyash for me. Like, it was like, all I had is one step to take, which was meeting the person. I had only one step to take, and there was nyash ready for me to fucking gobble on, right? And then me, like an idiot, I decided to share that I bought some fucking Jordan Peterson book, or that I went to a Jordan Peterson. I think when Jordan Peterson first came out, not now, or when Jordan Peterson was like first coming out, I think he did like a lecture here in the UK or in London, and I went, right? And I think I must have posted it, maybe on Facebook. I don't know where it was, but I posted it somewhere. And that potential nyash that I was about to get with must have seen that and then posted me like a DM, a massive, you know, if a girl sends you a DM and it's a massive paragraph, no breaks, no lines, you know you're in trouble, right? You know you're in trouble when you open that DM and it's just like a massive paragraph. I was like, no. And when I read it, she's like, yeah, I saw you post that Jordan Peterson thing. I just wanted you to know that goes against everything I stand for. She just went to, and I didn't know that. I didn't know that I wasn't overly like, again, maybe it's my fault. I should have maybe peeped her profile a little bit more and snooped more. But I didn't know she was like politically active in that way or whatever. So obviously Jordan Peterson is like her Adolf Hitler. You know what I mean? Like she saw that. She was like, fuck you. And it went away. And it was so heartbreaking because like, there's nothing I could do. I couldn't fix it. Like, I posted that book or that lecture and I immediately gave her the ick. I was immediately a red flag. I was a fucking nuclear bomb. So I can never fucking win it back again. So it's like, sometimes when those things happen, it's brutal. It hurts. But just take the L and just keep it moving. Nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. It is what it is. So hopefully she learns a lesson from this. Hopefully she learns. If you're going to do a page like that, right, where you review dates, just do it anonymously, innit? Like, do it anonymously. Wear a fucking balaclava or something. Like, doing it bareface is mad. Doing it bareface is fucking mad. Talking about being fucking mad, while going with Pokimane, is Pokimane trolling us, by the way? I saw this video of Pokimane where she, I guess, is contemplating turning 29, close to 30, and I guess maybe for some women 30 is a big age and you want to maybe, you know, whatever. So she does this whole thing where she's like talking about how she's not married and the pressure and whatever and how she feels and accepting herself, and it's just a little bit like I don't know who this is meant for. I don't know if she's trying to convince herself of something, but in the video that follows this, where she kind of posts a video talking about how she's engaged to herself, I'm wondering, like, is this rage bait? Or does she really feel like this? I'd love to know. Let's play the clip.
Here's why I'm not married yet. My parents keep asking, so I'm just gonna send them this video. 1. Dating while being a public figure has its difficulties. If I go on a dating app, I'm either bombarded with people asking if it's really me, or I get banned because they think I'm catfishing myself. Meeting up with a stranger is risky enough, but even more so after instances where a guy will pretend they don't know who I am, and then I find out they knew all along. I also think that, as a career-oriented woman, I don't want to settle for...
What is wrong with the guy pretending not to know who you are? Didn't she say she kind of gets weirded out when people know who she is in the first place and approach her that way? What would be the problem if a guy plays it cool and acts like he doesn't know who you are. Women are so confusing, innit? Women are so confusing. Like, she doesn't like it when guys are overly eager and know who she is and want to get with her because of who she is, obviously. But then she also doesn't like it when guys pretend they don't know who she is. Huh?
Someone who's insecure about what I do or wants to control me. I'd never want to be that way towards my partner. 2, I went through a rather traumatizing experience that made it hard for me to feel safe and trust others.
By the way, is that her real voice? Or is that like a thing that she does for like the stream? Is that like an exaggerated baby whisper voice, or is this like an ASMR thing? Why is she speaking like that?
Once you see the emotional, psychological, and even physical impact that someone can have on you, it makes you cautious about entering into anything new. I guess you could say I'm on a romantic cool down of sorts. And lastly, I simply didn't feel as ever the right time or opportunity to get married in my early to mid-20s. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Between a pandemic, the economy being in the toilet, and there just being bigger
blaming the
things to worry
pandemic.
about, it's kind of nice to see that people aren't rushing into marriage like they used to. I also try to think of it this way. What if it's the last time I'll ever be single? I might as well enjoy it, right? But I am a hopeless romantic at the end of the day, and I truly believe everyone has their perfect match somewhere out there. I hope you already have or will find yours too.
I kind of feel like she's signaling to somebody, hey, I'm single. I don't feel like this is her saying I'm off the market and I'm focusing on herself. I get like she's acting. Is it only me? I feel like she's kind of like putting out the bat signal for somebody that is interested in her to maybe reach out, as opposed to like, no, I'm in a place now where I'm not really thinking about that. I'm focusing on other things. I'm comfortable in my decision. I don't know. It feels a little bit like a mixed message going on here. I don't know what's going on. I don't doubt she feels how she feels, but the messaging is a bit all over the place. Like, do you really want to be with somebody? Are you happy alone? Like, I don't know. Like, it's a little bit all over the place. And I also feel like she's talking too much to the audience. She's talking too much to social media, because there's a narrative online, because there's that meme in it, right? That bunny meme, right? Because I think people post that meme on her profile all the time, right? Bunny, what's it? It's like a bunny clock meme. I think people post this meme on her profile all the time, on the replies, and I think she's now getting a little bit triggered by it. She's getting triggered by this meme, which I don't think she should get triggered by. Like, just, why are you responding to them? If you're comfortable in your position, just continue with your life. You don't need to justify your life choices to the fucking public. But I think this meme of like, your clock is running out, time is running out, is kind of getting to her. But yeah, the other video is really, really confusing. This I really don't understand. This I'm really, really perplexed by. It's a follow-up video where she announces that she's engaged to herself.
Bought an engagement ring for myself. Okay, but you guys told me to. In the comments my last video, you guys kept talking about a ring. A lot of you were saying, girl, just go get one for yourself. So that's what I did. A ring at Bulgari that I just fell in love with. It felt like way too much to get for myself, but then the more I thought about it, I was like, I hope someday I actually get engaged. The person that you are engaged to the most in your entire lifetime.
Why is engaged in question marks? Why is she like question marking engaging? Like, quote, like what? If you're engaged, you're engaged. There is no like engaged. Like, what was that about?
Is your damn self. So why shouldn't I get this ring for my damn self? So this is me proposing to myself. Damn! Look at the gorgeous diamonds. And the packaging is beautiful, the way that it contrasts. You know when jewelry is so pretty, you want to eat it? Is that just me? Like, it's so delectable. Will I be with me for the rest of my life? Well, yes, I've no choice, but yes, I'm gonna have the opportunity to gift my husband the sickest engagement ring for men that there ever was, and I cannot wait. You guys know how much I love gift giving, and just that idea makes me so happy.
This is a form of mental illness, isn't it? This is a form of mental illness. This is up there with crying, taking out your phone, opening Instagram, scrolling to the photo bit, clicking the camera to selfie, and then recording yourself crying. This is a form of mental illness. This woman is mentally ill. Buying an engagement ring for yourself with those reasons off the back of the video that we just watched where she's saying she's happy to be alone and I'm figuring stuff out. The pressures of marriage is not for me. I get it. I'm 30, but I'm living my life and you only get to be single once. I'm living my truth. Go, girl. Go. I'm cheering you on. Go. Do your thing. You don't have to confide to the social norms. I'm a big believer in that. Nobody has to confide to social norms. If you don't want to have kids, you don't have to have kids. If you don't want to get married, you don't have to get married. If you don't want to be married before you have a kid, you don't have to. You know what I mean? Like, you should follow your heart. Follow what your heart tells you. Follow what you want to do. If you want to hook up with somebody that, I don't know, is a sex worker and people don't think that's good, go for it. If you want to go for a guy that's got fucking baby mums, but you're in love with him and he's shown you that he's changed and he's learned his purpose experience and you want to get with him, go. Don't abide by the social norms. Everybody do everything case by case. Obviously make an informed decision, but you live your life, live your truth, whatever. Don't go by what people say. But this feels like she's convincing herself. This feels like she's not really happy with her position and her situation, and she's trying to convince herself that she's okay with it. This is what it feels like. It feels like she's not even gaslighting us. She's almost gaslighting and manipulating herself and not really kind of accepting the reality of, like, maybe deep down, she's a little bit disappointed that she isn't off the market or isn't taken or doesn't have the family that she hoped she would have. Which happens, isn't it? It happens in life. Sometimes you go to uni, you graduate, you think your life is going to go one way, it goes another way. Few years down the line, you're kind of disappointed. Oh shit, I did that, I fucked up here. It happens. But as adults, you just course correct. You adjust. You figure stuff out. You improvise. You work out another route. Like, you don't like cope, you know? Actually, all the places that fired me, they were really fucked up. They were all wrong. That manager there was racist. That guy over there was sexist. That person over there didn't like young people. It's like, isn't it better just to like look within and be like, hey, maybe there's something, I won't say wrong, but maybe I'm doing something wrong. Not that there's something wrong with you, but maybe I haven't, because she's a big streamer, right? She's a very popular streamer. She's got loads of subs. She makes a lot of money, but she's a well-known live streamer. Maybe, again, I don't know much about her, but maybe the easy conclusion could be, in order to be a very successful live streamer, you've got to do what I'm doing now a lot. When you do what I'm doing now a lot, you don't really have time to be outside and to date and to go out and shit. So maybe that might have fucked up her chances to get with somebody and to maybe start a family. That might be that might be a reason. Which is fucked up for what it is, but that's what it is. Would she change her trajectory now? Would she rather have a family and not be like a successful streamer? Probably not. So it's one of those things you have to kind of accept with your decision and then maybe make the best of it going forward. But this whole like buying an engagement ring for myself, I don't know, man. I'm just happy I don't have that kind of mental makeup where I have to kind of like soothe myself that way, you know? I'm willing to just look at the harsh realities of life and just try and make good of it, you know? As opposed to this. This is weird, man. This is really weird. Really fucking weird. But, you know, at least she mentioned engagement ring for a guy. I like that because usually guys don't really get engagement rings. So I like the fact that she's thinking about, hey, if I do get with a guy, I can't wait to get in an engagement ring. So that's a cool thing, right? And she's also thinking about long-term relationships, and she's not, you know, she's not trying to be a city girl out here, which is also a good thing for whoever kind of ends up with her. But this whole like engagement ring for myself is weird. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like, I went down a little dark rabbit hole, right? I went down a really weird dark rabbit hole a few months back where I discovered there was a subreddit. I forgot the name, but there was a subreddit where women kind of talk about dating AIs and shit. Have you seen that? I don't know if you guys seen that, but there's a subreddit where women get into relationships with AIs and they have, you know, whatever. They kind of document their relationship. And there are some women on there that will post a picture of their engagement ring. They'll be like, oh my God, guys, just wanted to let you know Hector proposed to me. And it's them posting a picture of their finger with an engagement ring they clearly bought for themselves, obviously, that they say that the fucking AI gave to them and shit. It's just like, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Mental illness of the highest level. So yeah, man. Congrats, innit? Congrats to her. Oh, and congrats also to Addy Z. Thank you for becoming a Taz fam. Big up Addy Z. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining and becoming a Taz fam. You're a fucking legend. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Big up blood clot Addy Z. Cool. Let's move on. Let's move on. I'm hearing in a stream chat, and I'm hearing from all of you people around the world listening to me, wherever you are. Oh, you want to hear more about Jasleen Singh? You want to hear more about Akaash's wife? I know you do. I know you do, because guess what? A new episode of her podcast just dropped. A new episode of Akaash's wife's podcast just dropped. And yeah, man, she's still yapping. She's still out here yapping about Akaash. She's still out here embarrassing her husband. She's still out here feeding the beast, right? Feeding the beast, and making things somewhat worse. So here's a clip somebody shared from the Flagrant subreddit. It says, she's back at it again, complaining about how Akaash does nothing because he's been sick, quote unquote, this past week. I wonder why Akaash has been sick this past week. I wonder what would make a man sick to their stomach to the point where they develop an actual illness. I wonder what would make Akaash sick.
Dog mom. And
except when Akaash comes home from a very rough weekend, did like 3-4 shows, and she goes, "Can you walk happy?" Because I'm tired.
Honestly, yes, retweet. But also, Akaash hasn't been doing shit for happy this week because he's been sick.
Oh,
so
wait, also
whatever.
Men being sick. Men being sick. Horrible.
I hate men being sick. It's the worst genre of man. They're so Neho. Like, I swear to God, the way this guy has been sleeping in his cocoon, like he's been hibernating. It's like you think he fucking came down with like fucking TB or something.
I bet you, right? I bet you more than likely, Akaash getting ill, Akaash becoming ill, Akaash getting a bug, whatever happened to him, was just a coincidence. I bet he was really ill. But I bet you he was so happy he was ill. I bet you he had one of the best weeks ever. Being cocooned in bed, not having to like deal with her every day, and kind of trying to process all the stuff happening. And more than likely, you know what's also kind of sad about this? If Akaash has been ill this past week, he probably was on his phone the entire time as well. That's all you can do really, right? To distract yourself. You're in bed, you're like, you know, maybe you got the fever, you're sweating it out, you're waking up, you're sleeping again. All you have is your phone, maybe your laptop by your side. So he's probably seen everything. He's probably seen every comment, every post, everything. So can you imagine how sad that'll make you feel? So yeah, I'm not surprised he was cocooned in bed the whole week.
Something like girls, like this is a true story. Before I had my gallbladder emergency surgery, I was in so much pain, but I had an interview to do for journalism school for a project. And I was like, well, I should just get the interview done. I did the interview, then went to the emergency room. That's how fucking tough girls are.
Guys feel like sissies truly when they're sick. Like, it's a little cool. It's like,
yeah.
Oh, can you please get me a blanket and soup? And of course I do that. I love my mans. But
I do it, but I'm like, here.
Man up.
Man up. Yeah, get your fucking shit together. We got to go to Mew Mew on Sunday.
Yeah, we have plans,
Sundays
baby.
are for Mew Mew. For the House of Mew Mew, the House of God.
The House of Gods. No,
What an absolute horror of a woman. What an absolute horror, man. Like, hurry up and don't be sick so we can go to Mew Mew. Hurry up. Fucking hell, man. I don't know. Hey, it's their relationship, I guess. I'm kind of bored. I'm kind of tapped out with Jasleen Singh takes. There's nothing more to say. You just play her clip. Play a clip of her talking and you just can see Wagwan in it. You don't have to say much. Just play the clip of her talking and you get exactly what's going on. Hey, man. You know, thoughts and prayers to Akaash Singh. Thoughts and prayers to Akaash Singh, man. Thoughts and prayers to her, or to him, sorry. I was actually curious to see what the comments, because the podcast name is what? The podcast name is Main Character Pod. It just came out the other day. What's the comments? Oh, look at the ratio. Ay, ay, ay. Look at the ratio. 53 dislikes, 16 likes. I was wondering what the comments are saying. What are the comments saying of her, of this episode of the podcast? What are the comments saying? She's dodging allegations like she dodges his kisses. Girl, I'm pretty sure the man is not sick but depressed from your destroying his life. A woman saying that, by the way, a woman. Here for the comments. These locals, if they can endure the trolls, I can always eventually become an unironic fan of these people. Akaash must be very jealous of that dog. Because she kissed the dog probably, innit? When is he divorcing you? Just want to say, for any guy watching, none of y'all deserve this kind of treatment from your woman. Do better and respect yourself. The gift that keeps on giving. You people should have a Patreon and a Discord. I love main character, keep doing. I generally don't understand the hate towards Jaslene. She's sweet, funny, and completely normal. As a working woman with a supportive husband, I can say every family works differently. There's no right way. People need to chill. And for those rooting for a divorce, clearly you don't understand that the Desi family or values. We don't drop our partners because some trolls say so. I don't think anybody is saying their family should act a certain way. I think people are just not that happy or pleased with how she's talking about Akaash in public or about herself. That's it, really. Nobody's telling them how to, treat each other, but just, it seems like she's disrespecting him in public for no real reason, again and again and again. Every clip that keeps coming out, it's almost like, But then again, to be fair to Jaslene, Akaash also seems to not have a problem with it, The old clips I've seen of her saying certain things. So maybe they have that kind of dynamic. It's just a shame that, she kind of doesn't seem to be able to gauge that the more she talks, the more she's hurting the brand. The more she hurts the brand of their family, the Singhs, the less money Akaash might be able to make, whatever. That's then going to decrease the amount of Miu Miu she can buy, She should really be selfish, really. She should really think of her own self-interest and be like, hey, how can I make sure that this man keeps buying me things? Well, he has to have a job, right? He has to have fans. He has to have people out there that like him or respect him. So let me not do anything that's going to hurt that so I can keep getting what I want, which is rings, fancy shoes, clothes, bags. Cool. But she doesn't do that for some reason. I don't know why. Jaslene girl, you manifested fame being the main character and here it comes. You're on stage and your moment of fame has arrived. Congrats. I've never seen a content creator inspire is this person trolling the creation of so many others' content. Suddenly everyone knows your name. All attention is good attention, right? Especially if it gets to the point of paid ads. I suggest gaslighting. Oh, I love that. That's a really good idea, actually. That's a good idea for her own channel too. Gaslighting for the name of your spot special would fit the whole dynamic perfectly. Fucking hell, mate. Fucking hell. So yeah, I guess she kisses her dog somewhere around here, right? Where's the dog? Is there her? Where is it? Somewhere around here, the dog gets kissed, I guess. Let me see if I can find it. Let me scroll. Nothing. I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of dog here. I can't see it. Where is it? I can't see it. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But yeah, there they are, man. Doing their thing. And here's a picture of Akaash looking very happy. Here's a picture of Akaash looking very, very happy. Not dead behind the eyes, by the way. Not dead behind the eyes. Not sunken place Akaash right there. Not sunken place Akaash. But yeah, I guess they'll figure it out. I guess one way or another, they will end up figuring it out. Yo, big up DJ AG. Big up Bloodclot DJ AG. I was wondering, right? I saw this clip of DJ AG going on his social media to tell the world that he's getting a vasectomy, right? He wanted to tell the world that he's getting a vasectomy. And you know why it made me laugh? Because DJ AG recently has been killing it. He's become the UK's favorite radio. No, the UK's favorite DJ. He's one of the most important DJs now out there on the scene. His platform and his page has inspired a bunch of people to maybe pursue their art again, pursue their creativity and their music. He provides good entertainment for people to watch. He seems like a really good dude as well. So everyone loves DJ AG. But it also seems like he's getting more famous, right? He's becoming more recognized. He's getting awards, So I wonder if this vasectomy is less about, what he says it is, and more to do with him just wanting to fuck. you know, because now he has more opportunities to go to different places around the world. His stock has risen, and you know, he has access to maybe some caliber of ladies that he didn't have before, and he wants to run and gun. He wants to run and gun, no protection, just out there slanging it. But it also made me think, maybe he's telling the truth about why he's getting a vasectomy. But it made me think to myself, is there a way for a guy to talk about getting a vasectomy without it coming across creepy? Without it coming across like you're a sex pest? Without it coming across like you just want to bust everywhere? Like, I don't think there's a way for you as a guy to say publicly that you want to get a vasectomy without people immediately thinking, you want to fuck raw all the time, innit? You don't want to wear any rubbers anymore.
I really found it difficult to make this video and try and find the right words. But here we go. I'm 40 years old. I've got 2 children. Kai's 15. Ree is 16. And I've decided that I don't want any more children. I'm done. And it's time to have the snip, otherwise known as a vasectomy. Now, some people will be like, oh, like, you're crazy. That's wild. You don't need to do that. There's other ways. But for me, you know, I'm on an incredible journey right now. And to be able to travel, meet different people, give opportunities, and do all my givebacks. Like, it's just a great journey. And having more children, it does petrify me. I'm not gonna lie, like, it is very scary for me that could be a possibility.
Incredible journey.
This is something that I definitely want to do. I don't know if there's any other men out there that feel the same, that are considering a vasectomy. It'd be great to hear from you. If there are any horror stories where you'd recommend for me to actually go and get the procedure done, please let me know in the comments.
Oh, I love DJ AG. Bless him, man. I love him. He wants the bus. He wants to, you know. I get it, man. I get it. Because it's going to be annoying, isn't it? Having to always fucking unsheath, rip out the fucking packet, you know what I mean? Rip that thing, you know, and do it as clean as possible and try and make it look cool. There's no way to do it coolly, innit? There's no way to coolly, you know, unleash or unwrap a rubber. You always have to kind of like, so awkward little dance. You're like, ooh, ooh, you know, you got your trousers down your ankle, or you just like, you know, whatever. You just standing. It's a weird little maneuver. So I get it. But oh, this is hilarious, man. This is hilarious. Like, there's no way for a guy to do this without it's coming across like you just want to fuck without any consequences. You just want to go where places where no man has gone before. You want to be back to back with it. You want to get a couple magnums, a couple honey packs, and you want to go wild. Oh, big up DJ AG though. He deserves it, man. He deserves it. He fucking deserves it. Talking about people that deserves things, big up blood clot Peggy Got. This is a clip taken from the GQ Man of the Year award. The other day, actually, I think they did one. They did 2, I guess. They did one in the US where the guys from How Long Gone presented. Big up How Long Gone, one of my favorite pods. Jason Stewart and Chris Black. They presented it, really fucking cool. And then this one, they did it for British GQ Man of the Year awards, where they had the guy, what's his name, Kareem Rama, the guy from Subway Takes, the great guy from Subway Takes, did the red carpet kind of interview thing. And in this particular clip, he sits there, or he stands there, and interviews the one and only Peggy Got, legendary DJ. And she has some interesting words to say about the proliferation or the popularity or the renaissance of DJing nowadays. And she says there's too many DJs, which I think is fucking hilarious, considering, you know, how she's received in the scene. But this is Peggy Got on the amount of DJs that are around nowadays.
I think there are enough DJs in the world right now?
Too many.
Too many?
Too many.
I agree.
A real DJ? Not too many.
Not too many real DJs. Because I've heard that there are real DJs, which are people that like do real DJ stuff.
What is a real DJ for you?
I think you put like, I don't know. How many signatures would it take for you to DJ tonight? 1,000 signatures? 100 signatures? If we want Peggy on stage? Or you're just not gonna do it?
100,000.
100,000?
Yeah, how about that? Okay,
I don't
maybe
think
that's a little bit too much.
I don't think there's 100,000 people here tonight.
Okay, 100. I'm being humble.
That's
100.
it?
Yeah.
Great. Start the petition. Yeah, we're gonna start the petition. I think there are enough.
Now, maybe in general, she's somewhat right? I think she's in general, I think there's somewhat some truth what she's saying. There's some truth what she's saying in general about there not being maybe real DJs. And I guess she means people that really appreciate the art form. They really take time to dig. They play in really cool, interesting and creative ways. They're not just about playing the hits. It's not just the image thing, blah, 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 blah. But this is similar to like a little bit to like the fucking Pharrell thing with the DEI and, you want to get here by merit. Because some people would argue that Peggy Got isn't really a real DJ, you know? Some people question her level, like and again, it's not her problem. It's just what it is. It's the industry. It is what it is. It's the market. It is what it is. But some people could say that her level of fame, her level of popularity, her level of success, her earning power doesn't really match her skill. You know, she's one of the biggest, most popular DJs out there in the world. And you can sometimes see her play and you'd be like, I know a couple of friends that are better than this girl. You know, this is a very mediocre DJ set. And there's plenty of them recently. This is a real problem that I've had with her because I feel like she's a really talented producer, personally. If she's producing a song, I don't know if she has produced them. There's still a debate around whether or not she uses ghost producers. I'm not too sure. She does have a bit of classical. She's like, you know, typically Asian. She, you know, plays the piano and stuff. I've seen her do some stuff online. She seems like she knows to play instruments. So I don't doubt that she can make good songs. And I've heard them in the past. Nowadays, you know, the level of quality is really up and down. It's not been that great. That Na 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 recently song was awful. That song that she done, which I didn't know at the time because I reviewed it, it was actually a collaboration with the F1. I didn't know that. So it's like a, you know, whatever. It was terrible. So was the video. But her previous songs have been good. So she's got the ability to do that. I just think maybe she's a bit too popular. She's enjoying life a little bit too much. And maybe not, you know, not being much of a studio rat she was in the past. But one thing is for certain, even a Peggy Got hater would say that she's a better producer than she's a DJ. She's a better producer than she is a DJ, which I think is a problem. I think is a big problem because she gets paid probably, and she's more well known at the higher profiles being a DJ. So for you to stand there and be like, yeah, there's not enough real DJs, it's like you yourself are not a real DJ, really. You know, your sets are kind of inspiring, uninspiring. You're known. I think personally, she's probably known more for her looks than she is for her talent. There's loads of really, you know, not so good stories about her and how she acts with people and stuff. She doesn't seem like the nicest person. Again, doesn't matter because I think sometimes in the industry, women are judged a bit harshly when they're like, you know, a little bit whatever stern. I think if a man is stern and whatever, you're seen as a boss. If a woman is like that, you're seen as a bitch. But you know, people have shared stories about how she comes across a little bit whatever. Big up Daniel Wang. So it's a bit difficult, you know, to take what she says seriously about there not being enough real DJs when her herself isn't a real DJ. But I guess when someone asks you a question, you got to answer it. It is what it is. I just find it a little bit contradictory coming from her, you know? Coming from her, it's like right message, wrong messenger. Maybe. But what do I know? Absolutely nothing. I know nothing. Talking about knowing nothing. Big up the page called Mr. After Party. I like it. They post a lot of news and stuff regarding dance music and whatnot. And they posted this particular post that got me kind of hot and bothered. This post said the follows: legends who never age. A tribute to the legends who built this culture are still out there lighting up dance floors from 75 to 48. These artists remind us that passion never ages and music keeps the soul young. This is for everyone who believes groove is forever. Me personally, when I saw this list of DJs who are actively still DJing now, you've got Junior Vasquez 76, Jeff Mills 62, DJ Hell 63, Carl Cox, my sworn enemy 63, Paul Oakenfeld 62, Sven Var 61, Laurent Garnier 59, David Guetta 58, Green Velvet 57, Tiesto 56, Loco Dice 51, Armin van Buren 48. For me, I don't like that. Because that is like, I wouldn't be proud. I wouldn't be happy if I'm a DJ still touring at that age. there has to be a ceiling. There has to be a cap. There has to be a time where you kind of bow out gracefully and you leave the party before the party leaves you. One of the reasons I think the scene can somewhat feel stagnated, while the lineups can feel somewhat samey, because if you look at lineups like Time Warp, right? Barring any catastrophe, barring anything bad happening, the same kind of block of headliners that play like a Time Warp will probably be playing at Time Warp in the next 10 years. That's what happened. So this version of Legends that we have here on the list, they were playing at all the big lineups. They're not so many, but they're still playing, and they continue to keep playing. I personally think having that solid group of people playing every fucking year until the day that they fucking die doesn't allow for an opportunity for young, fresh talent to come in and play. That's why the scene is so segmented and all over the place, you know? And you don't really get a lot of fresh faces in a lot of these places until the cycle goes. So, for instance, like the people who are playing now on lineups where Charlotte DeWitt is on there or Amelie Lenz is on there, you're going to have to wait until they're old and grey for you to get an opportunity to play. A young up-and-coming DJ won't get the chance to play alongside or to play in the same lineup going forward as like an Amelie Lenz or a fucking Charlotte DeWitt. Because those popular DJs keep playing every fucking year on every fucking lineup. So yes, it's somewhat admirable that these people are old and they're still doing the thing. But I think for the sake of the scene, for the sake of the music, for the sake of the younger generation, it's actually important if the older people step aside from time to time. It's actually good if they like bow out and step aside, because if a Sven Var says, hey, that was fun, glad, I'm gonna, go do other things, it allows a slot to be open so someone else can come and play. But Sven Var is such a big name, he's such a crowd puller, he's such a guaranteed ticket seller, that of course, if you're a promoter, of course you're gonna book him. Of course you're gonna fucking book Sven Var over a random person like me who gets like one play on fucking SoundCloud, of course. But in order to kind of open the doors and to kind of get the funnel going, you kind of have to get rid of the blockage. So if Sven Var steps aside, the person behind Sven Var now, the kid coming up who kind of maybe has a similar sound, is maybe inspired by him, they can come up. And then that also pushes everybody else at the back up a little bit, But if he still stays there until the end of time, you lose people along the way. Whoever's practicing, whoever's trying to get their name out there, they might get discouraged. Like, what's the fucking point? It's another lineup of DJs playing that fucking Warp or Time Warp playing the same lineup again. Like, let me actually check it, actually. Let me actually check it for just the sake of making sure that I'm not chatting out my ass, right? For the sake of making sure I'm not talking out my fucking bum. Let me do Time Warp 2025 lineup, right? Let's see what I go on. Was this recently, by the way? I think this was recently, isn't it? Right? So yeah, what have you got there? Time Warp 2025. Acid Paulie, Adam Bayer, Adam 10, Ideal Backspacing Quark, Black Coffee. Is it Black Coffee? Yeah, Black Coffee, Camel Fat, Amelie Lenz, Charlotte DeWitt is there, Clara Couve, Daria Kolskova, Hector Oates. Who else is there? Chloe Chalette, who I like anyway. DJ Heartstrings, I like them as well. Jamie Jones, Loco Dice, blah blah blah. Kiki. Who else is there? Seth Chocolate back to back with Mal P. Mal P might be the youngest guy on the list, actually. Mal P might be one of the only young faces on there. Mal P. Rated. Okay, let's do 2024. Let's see that. Let's do 2024. Time Warp. 2024. Again, same names. Ben Clock, Hector Oaks, I already mentioned before. Adam Bayer again. It seems like Adam Bayer plays Time Warp every fucking year. It's like, do you know what I mean? So it's like, how do fresh talent play? Adam Bayer is like the next version of like a Carl Cox. I don't know how old Adam Bayer is. Adam Bayer is not going to stop playing anytime soon, right? How old is Adam Bayer? Adam Bayer. Sorry, forgive me for not pronouncing your name correctly, sir. Adam Bayer is 49 years old. He's the next crop. He's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. So if you're a kid who's been inspired by Adam Bayer and you want to play, you're going to have to wait until this guy is 70 to get a slot. Or you're going to have to just blow up and become undeniable and go viral or something, then you can go. But there's not gonna be like a natural slot for you to fill, because he's still gonna be there. He's gonna be at Time Warp 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, 2020. He's gonna be there every fucking year, you know? That's a problem, I think, man. That's a little bit of a problem. I don't really think it's a good thing. So as much as I understand why they're kind of bragging about it on Mr. After Party posts, right? Well, as much as I understand about why they're bragging about it, I don't think it's a good thing for the industry. Me personally, I also don't think it's a good thing for you, the DJ. I mean, like, I don't know, like, I can't imagine, maybe everybody on that list is sober, but I can't imagine still getting on it in my 60s and 70s. That for me would be a nightmare. Still getting on it in 60s and 70s, still buying a packet, still having a cheeky packet in your pocket, still having like shots and drinks and stuff in the club environment in your 70s, even if you are a club kid, that's an L. I think that's a failure. I'm not gonna lie. You should maybe evolve out of it, maybe open your own club, start your own agency, give back a little bit for all the stuff you've taken, you know, over the years, or you've been given because of your talent, whatever. But I just cannot imagine being on that stage in your 70s. Like, you have to bow out gracefully, man. That's why there's a bit of a rush when you DJ, I think. That's why it's a little bit of a timeline, time limit on it. You kind of have to be in a bit of a rush. Even most of you're a woman and you want to start a family, you know what I mean? You can't have to consider that. You kind of have to you can't really rest on your laurels. You kind of have to go for it and really try, really hustle, really try and make it happen, because there's not a lot of window to really enjoy it. Like, after a certain time, you kind of get, you know, you're not the same person that you were 10 years ago. Maybe the rate, it's a bit, you know what I mean? But I just don't like how much it clogs up the space, because most of these guys, I think all of these guys are active DJs, actively playing right now. So it's like, and they're all popular, they're all well known, they're legendary, they've made seminal tracks, they're a big part of our fucking genre scene, whatever we're loving. Some of them are fucking literal legends, but they got a lot of pull, but they're still playing now. It's how young people are meant to come through. That's my thing. How young people are meant to come through. What are you guys saying here in the stream chat? I feel like big up Don Dota. I had no idea Junior Vasquez was that old. On 10 toes, all that money on designer, and she looks like she dressed like a Lulu, like a Lulu is hilarious. Had what's another one here? Just bought a ticket to Jeff Mills' Liquid Room 30th anniversary. Can't wait. Yeah, that would be good actually. Jeff Mills is still a legend. I saw him play at Fabric once. He was good. I didn't like the way he kind of left though. I'm not gonna lie. Little bit stush, little bit feisty, a little bit. He had a person who basically made sure that nobody in the rave said nothing to him, and kind of, don't get me wrong, maybe he was in a rush to go to another gig, but he, you know, there was very little acknowledgement of the people of like, hey Jeff, we're a big fan. He kind of just had his head down and kind of walked out. I was like, oh, yeah, hello, Mr. Diva, Madam Diva. But it makes sense, innit? If you're Jeff Mills, you'd be a diva too, probably. Big up Don Dota. Saw Honey DJ on Play 2 weeks ago, and she looks like she's still in her early 30s. I wouldn't say that. I think Honey DJ looks her age. I wouldn't agree with that personally. I think Honey DJ looks her age, but again, bless her, bless Honey DJ. Isn't it Flenvar not pronounced? Oh, is it Var? Okay, I didn't know. It's Fenvar. That's what I said. No, Svenvar. That's what I said. No. Okay, perfect. Bro, DJing is not a young man's game. Yes, it is. You kind of get into it when you're super young. What are you talking about, JSN? It's a young people scene. You get into it super young. That's where the virality and the fucking energy comes from. Yes, maybe the DJs playing are not super young, but the scene is. But they always still start super young, and you just keep doing it over the years. I think so. I don't know. Big up Don Dota, Jason. I think they generally do enjoy music and club vibe. Yeah, maybe they do. Maybe that's something that maybe that's why in my pursuit of making it as a DJ, my thing is that I want it to be one thing that I do, like one of the things that I do. It's not gonna be the entire thing, because a lot of these guys, all they do is DJ. I want to do other things, you know what I mean? Like if one day I want to open a shop, I want to have a shop. If one day I want to open a restaurant, I want to open a restaurant. If one day I want to open a club, I want to open a club. If I want to continue doing this stuff, I want to continue doing this stuff. But I don't want to only DJ, you know? That's what I would never want to do. But I guess these guys do truly enjoy being in a club environment and DJing, or only. But I just think that's kind of sad, you know, to kind of still be in clubs when in your 70s. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Talking about clubbing, talking about being yourself, talking about still going for it, talking about still being on it. Big up my girl Charli XCX. Love her to bits. Big up my girl Charli XCX. Love her to bits. Brat should be in the, you know, Hall of Fame greatest albums of all time. A real seminal piece of work, right? Something that she could be look back on when she's old and grey and remember that I hit out the park. You know what I mean? I made a 10 out of 10 album. Incredible album. So love her to bits. She's had a phenomenal couple of years. Absolutely killing it. She sits down with Gwyneth Paltrow on Goop YouTube podcast to talk about her life and shit. A really good interview. Not too long. The full interview is like 40 minutes. I really recommend you check it out. But she has a very interesting point of view when it comes to partying and growing up and stuff and getting older. And I love how she described it, because this is how I kind of relate to it and how I kind of live when it comes to dance, when it comes to going out, raving and stuff. I really, really identify what she said here.
Absolutely. Yeah. So because, you know, we do talk about wellness a bit here at goop.com. Is that something that you kind of contemplate, like your own well-being, whether it's therapy, whether it's exercise?
Yeah, I definitely fall on and off of those things for sure. Therapy is kind of my one I try and really keep constant. And exercise, to be honest, the past like few months really has not been a part of my life, but before it was. But I find sometimes when I'm traveling all the time, I'm just like, oh my God, I can't do it. But I need to get back in.
No pressure, no self-flagellation.
No, I know, but it makes me feel good in my brain actually. Yeah. When I'm doing it, like I love like running. It like really it makes me feel like a little bit more balanced. Yeah. You know, so I do need to get back into it. But I've just been kind of like on planes all the time.
And how do you reconcile like a sort of idea of your well-being with also, this is what I also love, the dichotomy is like being up until 4 and partying at a house party.
Yeah.
Why am I never invited to these famous house
You're
parties?
Always invited.
I feel very
open invite.
You know, I mean, I go to bed at 9, but what time do they start?
When you're in your like deep cycle of sleep.
Deep REM sleep. Well, maybe one night I'll have to, you know.
Pop up.
I know. If you do it in England, I can be jet lagged and still there. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You know what I think with wellness? Actually, it's like I feel like there's a lot of pressure around wellness to sort of subscribe to a certain type of lifestyle and do things in a certain way. And sometimes I can really feel the pressure of that.
It's gone crazy.
You know? Yeah. And I actually just think for me, it's like if I want to live the longest, I just have to be happy. Yeah. And I have to be free. Right. And I have to not feel the pressure of living my life in a certain way.
Exactly.
And so right now, for me, there is a lot of partying involved. Will it be like that forever? Probably not. But it could be. I don't know. But like right now, it's like that's where I got a lot of my source of inspiration. When I go out and I meet people and I'm in it with someone and I'm, you know, I get lost in this like fantasy world. And for me, it's such a huge source of, inspiration for my writing that if I cut that off, it would be like cutting off a limb.
No, of course.
You know, and I would be so sad. I would be so unhappy if I wasn't able to kind of absorb all of these different people and feelings and moments. So
yeah, enjoy that.
I gotta live in it a bit longer.
And you have to.
I love that answer. She so eloquently captured, summarized, described my thoughts when it comes to partying and raving. That's most of the reason why I do. Obviously, the love for the music is obviously number one, but it's mostly just the ambiance, the people, the connections, the moments, the conversations. Most of them are ephemeral. Most of them just, you know, are there in the moment and kind of go away. I'm definitely a big believer in like not swapping numbers or continuing the thing after. I think it's better to meet the person again at another rave and then maybe swap numbers. But I think that initial magic of meeting somebody, not even romantically or sexually, just in a platonic way, just meeting somebody interesting that you might bump into as you're sharing a cigarette in the smoking area, somebody that you happen to talk to as you're queuing up for the toilet cubicles to ingest your adult vitamins, somebody in the queue, somebody in the cloakroom, somebody on the dance floor. Sometimes the non-verbal communication and connection you have with people is fucking incredible. And it usually does sometimes inspire and kind of push you to do other things outside of the club, you know? Can expose you to a whole different group of people. It's fucking incredible. And it's a really, I think sometimes in life, I think it's important for some of us to go through that and to kind of experience it. Not all of us. Some people, it's not an interest to you. You couldn't give a fuck. But I think for some of us out there, it can really enrich your life. And I think there are some people, I don't know why, but I feel like there's a population of people that they love to like lifestyle shame. You know, I don't like that personally, but there's definitely a big scene of like lifestyle shamers who will remind you of your age, remind you that it's only Friday. I don't know, just they're constantly kind of, maybe because they're kind of still coming to grips with like maybe their lives and their mortality, and they'll basically try and make you feel less than because you still enjoy maybe going to parties. You maybe still enjoy going out. You maybe still enjoy a couple of drinks and shit. And now all of a sudden you're being kind of looked at a bit down. It's like, come on, bro. Like, I think the most chicest thing, right? The coolest thing ever, the chicest thing ever is to be in control of your vices. It's to never let your vices take over you. It's to always be in control of your vices, to do exactly what you want to do when you want to do it, to a level where you're enjoying it and you're not hindering or hampering or disturbing other people's enjoyment or disturbing their lives in general. That's the chicest thing to do. And I think most people who go out a lot, they know how to do that. They know how to live their lives and just do it and just kind of balance it with their work and whatever and keep it moving. And I think those people should be left to do what they're doing and encourage it, because they add a bit of color into the party. You know, like they add a bit of fucking excitement to your friendship group because they have stories to share, experiences, traveling, all these sort of things. I think it's really fucking important. And I just think in general, because there's not a lot of things in life to really enjoy as an adult in general, right? It's especially if you don't have hobbies, there really aren't a lot of things to really kind of center your life around, or to like maybe find new friends, connections, whatever. If one of your enjoyments, if one of your things is raving, enjoy it, man. You don't have to go pedal to the wall. You don't have to go fucking super crazy like you did maybe when you were super young. You can maybe just go sober and just enjoy the ambience. But if that's one of your things that you do, you shouldn't be shamed out of it because it's like going to a club still, you know? You should still enjoy it if you enjoy it. And then if you don't enjoy it and you want to, you know, stop doing it, you stop doing it. But then don't do what people do where like you start fucking talk. You know how people when they get newly sober, oh man, drugs are so bad and drinking, so shut up. You know what I mean? There was a time where you were enjoying it. If you want to bow out gracefully, bow out gracefully. But you don't need to then start fucking talking down on a thing that you just was enjoying a couple of fucking minutes ago or a couple of days ago, you know? So I do really like what she said. And it kind of comes through in the music. It kind of comes through in the music, this kind of tension, this struggle, this sort of like, you know, acceptance, and this battle that she has. Because she mentions it in the album, Brat, about wanting to start a family, about wanting to, you know, whatever, settle down, but then also wanting to party, but then seeing your friends do this, seeing your friends do that. You know what I mean? It's a struggle. It is. It's not easy. But if you choose that lifestyle and it's for you, I think you should be left to do so, especially if you're not hurting anybody and you're enjoying yourself. There's nothing wrong with it, in my personal opinion. And Charli XCX agrees as well. Big up Charli XC fucking X. Cool. Let's move on slightly. I also want to talk a little bit about this movie that she's got coming out. There's a movie that she's got coming out called The Moment. And the trailer for it just dropped, actually, that I want to quickly show you. The synopsis of the movie is as follows. The Moment is an up-and-coming American mockumentary directed by Aidan Zamiri, written by Zamiri and Beatrice Brands, and the film stars Charli XCX, Rosanna Arquette, Kate Burnett, Jamie Demetriou, Haley Benton Gates, Isaac Powell, and Alexander Skarsgård. Sick. The premise, development into September 2024 during the Sweat concert, English singer and a collaborator, Aidan Zamiri, a message which later was dubbed Word Vomit, and said about it almost felt like a diary entry. This is how I feel right now. This feeling of having just almost got everything else she could have wanted, and what it felt like on a kind of human level. The message serves as the basis of The Moment, and Zamiri and Beatrice Brands finished the screenplay in a few moments of the input of the singer. In January 2025, Charli was announced to join the cast of the film. That's a brilliant premise, by the way, right? That's a brilliant premise of a pop star finally realizing their dreams, finally getting everything they fucking wanted, and obviously the pros and the cons that come with that. So that's a beautiful premise. Let's check out the trailer. It looks fucking cool, as does the poster, right? The photography, the art direction, the color grading is fucking great on that. But I also just love the mockumentary style of the fucking movie. I think it's gonna work really fucking well. This is the trailer.
Charlie.
Wait, don't.
Oh, no, it's fine. They're with me, so.
Oh, okay. We're deleting this?
Yes.
Delete it.
How does it feel
So
to
cool.
have claimed a whole summer? Not many people can say that they've done that.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of happened. Is it weird when I do that?
No, I like it.
You sure?
Yeah.
I've built this tour up to be this massive thing.
Run it from the top.
Is it kind of painful? When I felt like people started to care about me.
You saved my life, and I drew this picture of you.
Oh, thanks. Nothing else matters.
They're not gonna die after an album cycle.
I
So
might.
cool.
Nothing was more important than Brad.
It was a fucking disaster.
Sorry.
Is that me?
That's supposed to be you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look at you there. Oh, look how different you look there.
Yeah, that's me.
I'm really looking forward to that, man. That looks fucking good. I'm really looking forward to that. It looks fucking fun. I love the mockumentary style of it. Very in keeping with old British traditions in terms of mockumentary series and movies and stuff in days gone by, ones that I can't come to my head right now. It's got a little comedic edge to it as well, but I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to check out. I'm sure there's going to be loads of activations around it. I'm sure there's going to be loads of cool activations around it for sure. Cannot wait to check that out when that eventually drops. Big up Charli XCX. That looks fucking fun. That looks fucking like a lot of blood clot fun. Talking about fun, it looks like the fun has ended for some people at Boiler Room, man. Fucking hell, this is brutal news courtesy of RA. Boiler Room to undergo substantial layoffs. I'm really curious to know if some of these layoffs have anything to do with this whole boycott Boiler Room thing happening at the moment, where a lot of activist groups are deciding to put out a message of boycotting Boiler Room because of their links, if I'm not mistaken, to the IDF and the Israeli government. There's like this main kind of like holding company that owns Boiler Room or share of Boiler Room. No, I think they own Boiler Room. I think it's called Subtract or something. And they're all kind of against it. And obviously, they're kind of against Boiler Room because they want to end the ongoing genocide that's happening now in Palestine. So they're protesting and they're boycotting Boiler Room as a way to maybe play a part in eventually getting to a place where there's a ceasefire in Palestine and those people can kind of go back to living their regular lives because people are getting blown up to bits and stuff, and it's fucking awful. So I wonder if those fucking Instagram pages have that much power, that much sway, that because people are conscious of this boycott Boiler Room movement, they are not going to Boiler Rooms, which is then affecting the Boiler Rooms, which is then affecting their bottom line, which then means people have to get sacked, right? That's what happens in most corporations, most companies. If the bottom line is being affected, the first people to go are the employees. So I wonder if that's the case. I wonder if those Instagram pages have played a part in regular people losing their jobs. And I wonder how they feel about that. I wonder if they feel conflicted, because yes, they've kind of done a good thing. Their message has been heard. The boycotts are working. This is having an obviously effect. Who knows what it might do in the future? It might actually lead to a ceasefire and peace in the Middle East. Who fucking knows? But along the way, DJs are being cancelled, right? Sometimes unjustifiably so. And along the way, employees, regular people are losing their jobs, losing their 9-to-5s, losing their abilities to look after themselves and their families just before fucking Christmas, right? I don't know. I wonder if they feel conflicted. I wonder if pages like Ravers for Palestine, which I love, pages like fucking Business of Teshno, which I love, pages like Boycott Room, which I love. I wonder if those pages are somewhat conflicted with what's happening. I wonder Anyway, the article as follows. Boiler Room is set to undergo fresh round of layoffs. An email sent to staff members today, November 24th, seen by resident advisor, confirmed, quote, changes to the structure of the business means that, quote, a number of roles are at risk of being made redundant. I love that terminology, by the way. I love how even in an instant, even in a moment when a company's going to fire you, they still can't just be straight up and tell you wagwan. Changes to the structure of the business. What do you mean? Just say the money's not coming in like it used to. We're not popping like we used to, and we have to cut people. We all know that's what happens. It's unfair, really, because usually the people that make the decisions, right, that affect the company are the ones that are at the top, and they don't get fired. It's usually the fucking, you know, the regular people. But one thing I've noticed anecdotally, and again, maybe I'm not the best example of this. I'm not the best person to kind of listen to here, because I don't really use my social media a lot. Like, I just post and go, so I don't really look at people's profiles too much or their story. I mean, I'm not really engaging. But anecdotally, whenever I do open up the app, am I the only person that's noticed a distinct decrease in the amount of people sharing Boiler Room stuff on their social media feed? Like, I can't remember the last time personally I checked the Boiler Room YouTube anyway. Anecdotally, I can't remember the last time I checked it. But I feel like I don't see people sharing sets, sharing things as much. And I wonder if that is, again, partly induced to the pages. Because the boycott Boiler Room movement is encouraging or demanding professional DJs to boycott Boiler Room if they want to see peace in Palestine, right? If they don't want to support the IDF or the Israeli government or whatever else it may be. So people are, if you're a DJ, you're kind of like pressured, even if you don't agree and you want to still play for Boiler Room, you don't want to play it, because if you do, people are going to make it look like you're a fucking IDF soldier. So you kind of don't play. So all the popular DJs that want to keep their image clean, they are quote unquote boycotting Boiler Room, which I guess is affecting the videos, because if you don't get the big DJs playing there, no one's going to fucking watch your videos. Which is also kind of fucked up, because Boiler Room in their own way, they've made a lot of careers, you know? Boiler Room have made a lot of careers. A lot of people's careers were started on Boiler Room. A lot of people who played in festivals that were recorded and live streamed by Boiler Room, that was then disseminated and shared around the world. People saw those clips and they went, "Oh my God, you're sick," and they booked them and they became professional. Like a lot. I think one of the fucking obvious examples, I think, is Jada G. I think she said even one time that that Boiler Room said that she did I think at Dick Mantle, one of those iconic ones where she's playing vinyl and she's fucking amazing and her hair is flowing and shit and she's fucking killing it. One of those DJ sets is what kind of propelled her to like stardom. Essentially, put on a lot. Don't get me wrong, her talent was always going to get her there, but still, it kind of helped her along the way. So it does seem a little bit unfair, you know, that Boiler Room's kind of getting done this way, especially the employees, you know. But hey, anyway, it continues. Quote: anyone whose role is at risk will have already received an invite to a meeting today. Quote: for those who haven't, your role isn't impacted, but we'd ask you to support those who are. I've been there, man. That meeting is brutal. You both know what's going on. You just want, if anything, that meeting, all you want to know is are you still going to get paid? And do you get any severance? That's what you want to know, really. You don't really give a fuck about them trying to soothe you or put their arm around you, convince you it's going to, whatever. You don't care about that. All you want to know, am I going to get a paycheck at the end of the month? And do I get a severance? You know, that's all you really want to know. It's a kind of a weird interaction. Another one. It continues, says the exact total is unconfirmed, but a source close to online music broadcaster revealed that a substantial percentage of the workforce, thought to be double figures, including some of the best people we've ever had at Boiler Room, are affected. Plans for the future of the business will be addressed during a company-wide meeting tomorrow. RA has reached out to Boiler Room for comment. Boiler Room has enjoyed a turbulent 2025 after it was bought by Superstruck Entertainment in January. The firm has since been met with boycotts in cities like London, Lisbon, and most recently Kuala Lumpur. We'll continue to report on the story as it unfolds. Double-digit people, some of the best people, all gone. It also kind of shows you, innit, just how much in business is how important payroll is, isn't it? How expensive a payroll is. I think I did see a couple of TikToks of entrepreneurs or business owners, small business owners, kind of like giving you the reality of what it is to own a business, like a restaurant or whatever, saying, look, most of the money that goes out is on salary. But without the people, I don't have a business. So you kind of have to pay the people. And also, if you own a business, you kind of feel responsible for people because they are working for you, they're supporting their families based on. You don't want to not let them down, but that's why a lot of companies, corporate, whatever. The kind of harsh thing in order to cut costs is to cut people. Like that's just the reality of it, because salaries are big, payroll is a big part of expenditure and shit. But this is brutal, man. This is fucking brutal. I feel bad for everybody, man. So thoughts and feelings go out to everybody over there that got fired. Let's actually check the pages. What's Ravens for Palestine saying? Are they gloating? I wonder, are they gloating about this? Let's see their stories. What are they gloating? No, I don't see any gloats there. Boy room stuff on the go. What's this? What's that page say? Let me see there. So what they post here? Mass action. So yeah, they're kind of gloating. This is a person called Bronte Godin who says mass direct action works. Quote in the fucking Boy Room firing story. And then she posts another clip here that shows Mighty Hoopla Festival, I think, or an event in Sydney with Kesha playing. And it says who is calling up their friend on the KKR lineup. You can refer them to Ravens for Palestine if there's any confusion about the impact of art washing, the effectiveness of the boycott. She said another one, a fresh entry in the Essential series by Jealous Hyder just dropped. Read part 1 below and check our news story for the next part. Enemies within occupation survive through us. I don't know what that's about, to be honest. What's this? Let me watch this. Let me check this post out. What's this? There's moments. Okay, cool. I don't know. I'll read that later. I'll save that. What's the next one? How to push back, blah, blah, blah. Are they gloating a little bit? Yeah, they might be. Yeah, there we go. They might be gloating a little bit here. A little bit of gloat. Boiler room undergoes substantial layoffs. The next slide, they say that any caption, they got the devil emoji there. So I guess they are gloating somewhat. And people in the comments are also happy. You got clapping emojis there, fireworks, smiles. Goes to show information is still a powerful tool. Good. Everything is in its price. The tides are slowly turning. Let's keep going, people. Such a surprise. Bloody company, bloody practices. People are important, but surely they will find better places to work. Fucking hell, that is savage, isn't it? Someone got fired, right? Someone got fired in double digits. Some good employees. They probably make good money. They've done great work. They probably saw a long future at Boiler Room for themselves. They got fired off the back, partly, maybe to do with this protest. And oh yeah, they'll find another work. Will they though? In this economy, will they? The money won't be the blood money. Wish them luck, not the company. Hopefully, the company will be closed soon. Why do you want? I don't know. I think it's unrelated to the boycotts, but just goes to broad massive parent company, which a perfect indicator that this is how things are. Firm. It turns out you can't avoid calls to stop funding genocide, but they weren't directly doing it anyway. Whatever. I'm not going to get into the fucking, the nuances of this discussion, but it's just I don't know. I just feel really bad for the people that work there. Honestly, another one. Boycott Boy Room column post show no art washing genocide. Boy Room is a media company that platforms dance music globally, organizing its first show in Kuala Lumpur on 20th of November. Boy Room has made a name for itself for contributing to and showcasing underground music. However, in January 2025, Boy Room was acquired by Superstruct, whose parent company is a private equity firm, KKR. KKR invests in weapons manufacture, surveillance technology, and Israeli business complicit to the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians. Boiler Room has attempted to distance itself from KKR by claiming it has staff that had no control over the sale of the company. However, Boiler Room's cultural capital, its profits are now inevitably tied to investments. But that's the thing, though. That's kind of unfair, isn't it? Really, it's not their fault that Boiler Room was sold to a company that is also owned by KKR. I mean, I don't know. Like, didn't they come out and say they have no editorial sway on what they do? Zero. I know in a way, if you watch a Boiler Room video on YouTube, you are partly funding, I guess, in their eyes, the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians. It's a bit of a reach, but I guess technically you are because, it's Superstruct owns them and the parent company of Superstruct is KKR, but I still feel like it's a bit of a reach, It's a bit out of order, but I guess maybe protesting and real change, this is how you meant to do it. It's kind of brutal. People have to suffer, and people are going to suffer. Just before Christmas, people are getting fired. Like, this is real shit, man. This is kind of out of order. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of out of order, man. I'm not going to lie. I'm not the, I wouldn't be gloating about something like this, but, maybe I'm in the minority there. What are you guys saying in the stream chat? 100% the boycotts, but honestly, Boiler Room got way too mainstream anyway. Yeah, it did, but I still think it still holds a place in the culture, in the scene. I don't feel like they've done much wrong, really. They've done a lot of putting people on, They've done a really good loads of series, like kind of like showcasing loads of scenes around the world and bringing a light to them and stuff. Like they've done a lot of great stuff for the scene in general. I feel like people really overlook the contribution that Boiler Room have made to the scene. I guess mostly it comes down from the origin story of Boiler Room. I think the problem is the origin story, because the original owner of Boiler Room, what's his name? I forgot his name. I kind of used to see him out and about all the time because I used to go to some of the first Boiler Rooms that they used to do at the pickle. Is it pickle factory? No, peanut factory. Big up if you were around back in the day in London during the peanut factory era. But back in the day when Boiler Room used to do it in the factory, in the warehouse where they just had that one webcam taped to a wall. If you know, you know. I forgot the guy's name who used to own Boiler Room. But if I remember correctly, Boiler Room kind of started on a bit of a back foot, because when the person that founded it is like some sort of royalty or something. I think his background is some sort of aristocrat background. But again, I don't give a like me personally. I don't give a fuck what background you have. If you're contributing to the scene and you're contributing to it in a good way on the ground level, then you should be fucking heralded. And he was doing it clearly for the right reasons. He put a lot of people on. He sold it, made a bucket of the money, and flew off to the sunset. I don't think it has been seen ever since. I've not really seen him around there anymore. I don't know if he even lives in England anymore. But still, like, I think that was a problem. They've never really, you know what I mean? No one's really accepted them really because of that, except because of that Genesis story. And obviously over time, it got sold to different people. And then this, of course, the latest sale, definitely push people over the edge. But I don't feel like Boiler Room has ever got the credit it really deserves, you know? But yeah, RIP Boiler Room, I guess. Soon, I guess, because when it starts like this, when they start culling people like this, it means the fucking end is coming very, very soon. But I could be wrong, man. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I hope I am wrong. Continuing on. More news courtesy of Resident Advisor. Legendary Manchester club Sankeys, which closed, I think, 9 years ago, 10 years ago. I remember it back in the day. Creative director David Vincent says the new city centre space will be an intimate underground club with a chill-out room. So happy to hear it. There's not enough new clubs, especially outside of London. We need more of them. So I'm glad to hear another one is opening. There's so many news of like gentrification issues and clubs closing down. So when it does happen like this, you can always celebrate it. So the article says as follows. Sankey is set to return to Manchester 9 years after the closure of this long-running Ancoats home. The new 500... Oh, it's a new venue. So it's not the same place. The new venue, which has been teased earlier this year, is located in the city centre. Let me see what it looks like. What's the tease? What's the tease? Let me see what the tease looks like. Oh, we got a little Instagram here too. Cool. We'll check out the Instagram then and see what go on. Any pictures of it? We got some bits and bobs. Nothing crazy. Is that Alyssa, isn't it? You could tell. I knew that was her from the back straight away. I think that's Alyssa playing. Alyssa or Alicia. How do you pronounce her name? Recognize the hair and the fucking bop. Yeah, okay. That's the old space or something else happened. Let me double check here. Anything new? There we go. A Mancunian UK nationwide legend, a place of 9 to 5 escapism, the weekend church where we dance away our sins, a place for a true musical religion, a place where strangers became friends, lifelong partners, everyone interlinked by their stories of the basement and the spectrum. Your go-to happy place. It was just you, the DJs and the speakers pounding your inner soul. It was a place of unity, community, love and laughter, where your unique being could lose yourself in the music and be in harmony, a place that holds a special place in our hearts. There'll be no other. It is Sankeys. Ooh, they're coming back, yeah? So for music, okay, cool. That's the space, I guess, right? I guess maybe that's the old space, but yeah. Good to see. Any more fucking things here? Sankeys since 1994, starting off the converted warehouse, renowned. Anything more? Hello Manchester, it's been a while. 25 weeks ago. This door wasn't an entrance, it was an initiation, a one-way trip into the underbelly, a step into the Manchester institution where the sound hit different, where the nights disappeared, where Sankeys lived, the energy never gone. Manchester knows. Wow, love it. The comments, would love to go back to them, paying in and walking and straight into the dance floor. I miss trying to read all the packs of flyers you used to get leaving the club. Eyes all over the place. I know why. I've been here and there everywhere, but Sankeys was the gaff, a slice of heritage, everyone lucky enough to experience it. Hope we will still see inside the speakers. Remember, the best thing going there was the big doors on the Jersey Street when the DJ booth was at the bottom of the stairs rather than the middle of the room. The fact that I lost my phone and got it back in there still astounds me. So fun. Love that. Skittle with the eyes. Vivid memories of hearing John Carter there. Cool. Everyone's got great memories of that place, man. The new 500 capacity venue teased this year is located at the city centre. Launch parties will take place on Joxer. It's opening in next month, January. No, sorry, in a couple of months. End of January. Lineups TBA. The club will be open 1 day a week. A Saturday. I love that. Interesting approach. It's going to be open 1 day a week only. Interesting. Saturday in the legendary Tribal Sessions will hold a monthly residency. Opening in 1994, Sankeys Soap was the original venue, become known for its bare bones industrial aesthetic, bookings that helped shape UK club culture. The new space aims to similarly strip back feel, including a reinstated LED matrix grid and dedicated chill out room. Oh, we need that, bro. We need that. 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 We don't have many clubs in London or in the UK in general that have chill out rooms, you know. And I think we need it more. We're the most turned up, crazy bunch of people that go out in Europe or maybe in the world. Like British people, when we go out, we make it known. So I think we need chill out rooms. We need a place to kind of like down regulate, you know. But all we have is just dance floors and toilets and smoking rooms or smoking areas. There's not actually a place where you can actually sit. Fold's one of the only places that has that. Big up Fold. Fabric has that too, to be honest, true. But there's not a lot of places that have chill out zones, chill out rooms. So that's actually an important part of clubbing, having a space where you can actually take a breath, you know, and actually chill. It continues. What we're creating is an intimate underground club with a chill out room. Creative director Vincent says there'll be no VIP, no phones allowed on the dance floor. Love it. Everyone's a VIP. People need to stop taking pictures and start dancing. I love to hear that. I love that. Love the sound of that. Let's actually check out some more clips here. Anything more? Nothing there official. This week, Manchester, UK has been blessed. Homecoming very soon. Okay, we got some bits of some pictures there. The Legends returns. Yeah, 5. So yeah, the Legends returns. We got some images here of what it's going to look like. Bare bone space with some LEDs on the roof. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like RSO Club. A lot of RSO Club. Really fucking nice in there. Bare bones, all the pipes. All the DJ booth is right in front of everyone playing. You can see them straight away there. I love that. No phones, everyone in the moment. You don't actually get moments like this anymore, innit? You only get a moment like that where a guy's like closing his eyes, looking up, hands in the air when there's no phones around, you know? I love that. Like that. Like what I'm seeing already. I like what I'm seeing already. Cannot wait for Sankeys to reopen. Big up Blood Clot Sankeys. Talking about clubs, let's also check out a couple of stuff regarding this motherfucker. Where are ya? Not that one. This one. Where is it? Where the fuck is it? Where'd I put it? Bear with me a second here. Is a link not there? No, it's not here. Is it there? No, it's not there. Maybe it was here. No, it isn't there. Was it there? No, it isn't. I think it was this. Sorry, my bad. OXI Club. I want to check out OXI Club because OXI Club have just produced or just published their January or New Year's Day lineup as well. It looks pretty interesting. So this is courtesy of OXI Club, which I went to what? Toy Tonics, actually. A couple of years ago, I went to Berlin to go to a Toy Tonics rave. And OXI, I really enjoyed it. I'm not going to lie. I really enjoyed OXI Club. It was a nice little mixed change from going to Berghain all the time. And I really enjoyed it. Nice space. Cool little rooms everywhere. There's one room where it's got like a cool cage around the DJ booth and stuff. The chill out areas are amazing. But the best thing about OXI Club is the fucking cocktail bar. They've got this really small... It's speakeasy dive bar-ish vibe cocktail bar that you have to kind of find as you walk around. It's like a maze, the whole club. But when you find it, it's incredible because if I'm not mistaken, they also feed the sound in from the fucking main room into the fucking cocktail bar, so you can still keep an eye on or listen to who's playing. And the cocktail I had in there was fucking delicious. So big up OXI Club. It's a real fucking nice space and a nice big outdoor space, lockers and stuff, easy to use. Blah blah blah. You know how it is. You know how it is. So number one, I want to check out that lineup. So let me just quickly get RA up as well so we can see both things. So this is the flyer courtesy of OXI Club. It says, we are very excited to announce our lineup for OXI NYE 2.26. This is the first time I've seen a Berlin club actually do the 31st. Everyone's doing like a 30th for the 27th. So it's nice to see a conventional New Year's Eve rave. It starts on the 31st, 10 p.m. You know, like everyone else is doing a New Year's Day thing, so that's kind of interesting. Wednesday, 31st, 10 p.m. Tickets via Resident Advisor. So far, I can see on here we've got Nikki Estrella, Amor Sita, Alda, Ramfina. Who do I know here? Razza I know, River Moon I know of, Soraya I know of, Shake. Oh, big up my guy Shake. That's sick. Big up him. He's playing there. That's fucking liver. Big up Shake. He's there. Cool Super, Jazz, I'm a big fan of actually. Sam as well, I'm a big fan of from what's their fucking crew? I forgot what the name of it is. Who else you got here that I know of? Yazis I like, DJ Tool I like as well. Nice list, man. Very what's the word? Eclectic, I'd say. A very eclectic lineup. Not something you'd expect for New Year's Eve. Let me scroll down here. So there you go here. See, look at this. Alda, Amor Saita, Sem, Michael Lane, yeah, Nikki Estrella. Good little lineup here, I'm not going to lie. Celebrate another year around the sun with us. Like last year, you can expect a mix of finest techno and community favorites, which is good. It seems like they got a lot of those local heroes there. We'll transform the club with cozy decor and plenty of extra seating, making sure even the most dedicated 38-hour marathon. It's a 38-hour marathon. Whoa. From the 31st to the 2nd. I didn't notice that. God almighty, mate. I would die. We'll transfer last year we'll have the what's that word called? Gulwing cut. What's a gluen tap? What the fuck is that? Is that beer on tap? Is that what it is? Just a gluen tap. What the fuck is that? Is that like mulled wine or something? Maybe it's mulled wine. What the fuck is a gluen tap? Glowing. Is there a video for that? What's that? How to make gluing. Oh yes, mulled wine. Okay, mulled wine. Nice. It's just mulled wine. That's nice. Okay, that'll be on tap. Food, also ambient floor for our guests to chill out in. Thank you for another year of growing stronger together. Love to see it. Yeah, big up my guy Shake, man. That's a fucking sick lineup. Sick booking. Big up Shake. We love to see it. Maybe I should check out any stuff on here that they got. Let's check out the site on there. Some bits and bobs of people that have been there recently. A lot of these location tags have stopped working recently, but we can just check it anyway. Some bits and bobs. This is some clips inside, I'm assuming, right? Doesn't really remind me. Oh yeah, there's someone's filming something in there. I don't think they're going to have many rave clips because they usually do cover your phone anyway, to be honest. Yeah, there you go. Sem, Oxy playing. We love to see that. We love to fucking see that. Big up Jazz, big up Sem. That's fucking sick. It looks like Two Hollis was there recently playing as well. That's fucking sick. Not mad at that in the slightest as well. Let me see. Who's this person? I don't know. Somebody else that was playing there as well. Some talks as well. There's a couple pictures here of the inside we can see. Nothing crazy though. But yeah, big up fucking Oxy. Big up Oxy Club. Good to see. That lineup looks fucking great. That lineup looks fucking great. Big up Blood Clot Oxy. Big up Blood Clot Oxy. Moving on. This is kind of funny, right? I found this. I didn't even know there was a fucking Unfold subreddit, but there's an Unfold subreddit, right? Which is the club night over there at Fold in London, one of our premier clubs, where they do this party on the Sunday that usually goes from like midday 12 all the way to 12 midnight and shit, right? I think it's once a month or whatever it may be. And I think it's mostly for the unemployed man then, because all the years that I've been going to Fold, I've never been there. I've never fucking been to an Unfold. For all the years I've been going there, I went there since the first fucking party and shit. I've never actually been to an Unfold. And I think it's mostly because I'm an employed adult. So, but I feel like I'm missing out a lot. I feel like there's a whole other scene going on that I'm missing out on. So I need to go actually. I kind of gloat that I don't go because I think it, just to be a contrarian and kind of not do what everyone else does is fucking fun. But I also kind of need to go because I feel like there's a lot of stuff that goes on there, a lot of drama, a lot of like, things, fun things. This particular thread is funny, right? Somebody said here, why your demand for silence is killing dance culture? You're not the vibe police. which I kind of feel, because I said the other day that I'm kind of a little bit anti this like no phones on the dance floor thing. You know, I'm kind of anti a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of anti it, because it's almost like there's too many codes of conduct pages and lists I'm seeing on club nights now. I'm not liking it. All these rules, right? House rules. It's like, what is this like? This is a nightclub or is this a fucking school? You know what I mean? What the fuck is going on? So I'm liking that some people are feeling a little bit of that. This like policing of like the correct way to rave and the correct way to enjoy. It's like, shut the fuck up, you know? So let's read the thread. This person posted, said the following: I've seen far too many unwarranted vibe police, aka gatekeeping posts on here. We need to check ourselves. The whole idea that people should not talk at a techno night is very sterile, isolated perspective that is making nightlife feel like a calculated experiment instead of a vibrant human experience. You speak as if there is some sacred rulebook for proper behavior on the dance floor, but who wrote it? Berlin Purist? Your favorite RA reviewer? Exactly. Because there's a thing now, there's a movement of people who are trying to stop yapping on the dance floor, which I think is stupid, because the proportion of people that yap on the dance floor is usually very small. They're usually also in a very concentrated area. All you have to do is move away from them. All you have to do is move away from the people who are talking on the dance floor. You don't need to go away. You don't need to kind of shout at them, tell them to shut up, huff and puff or whatever, or barge them with your shoulders. It's not that deep. If somebody's talking where in your vicinity and you're not enjoying it, if somebody's dancing and they keep stepping on your foot, get what you do. You just move away. Like, I've had plenty of people, like, you know, maybe wave their arms a bit too high, knock you on your head, but you know there's no malice behind it. They're just enjoying themselves. I don't want to disturb their thing and kill their vibe by tapping them on the shoulder, giving them a stern look and saying, hey, can you stop? No, just move somewhere else. This is like that fucking famous Tyler the Creator fucking tweet, innit? About cyberbullying. Like, how can you get bullied on social media? Just turn off your phone. Just log out. It's not that deep. Anyway, it continues. You're acting as if the deviation from the idealized focused vision of the dance floor is a personal offense. That is not about form and function. Is simply telling people how to enjoy themselves. Techno is not a church, and you are certainly not the priest. This person is pissed. And honestly, this whole mindset is miserable. You're essentially demanding that everyone else shrink themselves so your aesthetic experience remains completely undisturbed. Exactly. That's a good point, by the way. That's a good point. Because people are yapping, you'd think that your experience is more important than their experience and you want them to shut up. Whereas really, we are all sharing the space together. If you don't like what's going on, go somewhere else. It's not that deep. And I don't mean go to another club or go back to your country. I just mean literally just step somewhere else. A couple of steps to your right, a couple of steps to your left, a couple of steps backwards, and you're probably fine. That is the extreme individualism. You can dispute how you want, but it is the same old hyper-individualist capitalist argument. Everyone must conform to my taste so I can maximize my enjoyment. Meanwhile, across much of the world, people go out to dance, chat, flirt, be loud, and connect. If only some of you have experienced that it means to attend a techno night somewhere in the global south, you would probably melt. People are kissing, vibing, talking, moving around, living, and you know what? The party still goes off. The music still slaps. The night does not collapse because somebody whispered to the friend during a kick drum. Exactly. And that's what I hate. There's a lot of people doing that, like getting annoyed if you get out your phone and you're talking to someone on your WhatsApp. Shut up. If you don't like it, go elsewhere. I'm not exactly using it my phone anyway. Like, relax. You know what I mean? I'm not exactly recording something. If you don't like somebody dancing too close to you, breathing too close to you, being too sweaty, just move elsewhere. It really isn't that deep. The policing of people is just too much nowadays on the dance floor. It's too much. The argument that the chatty crowd ruins the night only makes sense if the sound system is inadequate. True. If the system is good, the conversation simply becomes part of the atmosphere of the night. It is not good. It is a production falling, not a moral flaw. Yeah. That's one of the good things I actually like about the sound system in most clubs, especially Berghain, for instance. It's really loud, but when you're talking to somebody, you don't need to shout, you know? You can just like talk at a normal tone, they can hear you. But most of the time people are dancing anyway. But also, it's not that big of a deal. In most clubs I've been to, it doesn't matter whether it's fucking EXO, YO, Fabric and stuff. The people who are talking are usually in clumps. They're usually like little clumps. You just have to avoid the clumps. It's not that hard. Like, it really isn't. And usually if they're in clumps, if they're talking a lot anyway, let's be honest, if people are yapping on the dance floor, it's usually because they're probably high on coke. They're probably going to go to the toilet and have a bump in a minute anyway. Just bide your time. Just, you know, grin and bear it. Grin and bear it. They're probably going to go to the toilet to have another bump soon. Grin and bear it. It's not that deep. Let's be honest. You're not doing, you're not defending dance culture. You're defending your own personal comfort zone. Ironically, by demanding everyone else keep their distance, stay silent and keep still. You are accelerating the exact social isolation that social media companies profit from through the attention economy. You are transforming the dance floor into a socially distanced grid where people act like decorations, not active participants. It's joyless. Amen. Amen, whoever you are, preach. People are entitled to enjoy music and differently than you. They're entitled to express themselves differently. They're allowed to be human in a space that is literally designed for collective human experience. Exactly. They just want everyone to be a drone. But to be fair, most clubs are full of drones, innit? Everyone's got the same New York boots on. Everyone's got the same choker on, the same harness, the same fucking stupid tattoos, the same piercings, right? The same fucking scowl, the same unwashed hair, you know? If you generally want nearly total silence, no interruptions, and people frozen in place, you should go to a Berghain Wednesday morning set, not a city rave. The world does not revolve around your sensory preferences. You're not the vibe police. The dance floor is not your isolation chamber. If a little bit of talking shatters your feelings of transcendence, that is not a crowd problem. That's an entirely you problem. Exactly. User error. That is a user error. Big up them. That's an amazing article there. Amazing post on the Reddit. Big up that person that posted this. What are you guys saying in the stream chat? AC, didn't you shame old guy that was at Fabric but still partying a few weeks ago? LOL. I don't know what you're talking about, brother. I don't know what you're talking about on 10 Toes. I don't know what you're talking about. Big up Don Dota. Yeah, get closer to the speakers to the back where there's more space. Some places are deaf ruined by yappers. But that's a finished. Yeah, exactly. And it's just one of those things. Sometimes you're gonna go to a place and you might pay too much for drinks. Sometimes you might go to a place and the sound might not be too great. Sometimes you might go to a place and the locker rooms are fucking full and it takes too long to put it yourself. Things happen. But this trying to control every element to create this perfect, sometimes it's not your fault and the situation around you can maybe dictate that you don't have a good night. But sometimes you could just grin and bear it and just still make use of it. Like, it doesn't, if the worst thing that is happening to you when you're out is that people are yapping, you're not having a bad night. If that's the worst thing, like, come on, people need to fucking grow up. It's not that deep, man. Someone in the comments says, I don't think anyone wants a ban on talking. It's more that people are pointing out that when quite a large part of the crowd is focused on talking rather than engaging with the party and listening and dancing, that does distract from the night. But that doesn't happen though. There's not a large crowd of people in the. I don't believe this. I've been out too many times. You don't see large groups of people on the dance floor doing it. They're usually in clumps. It's usually a group of friends or two people that are like yapping. You just got to move away from them. It's not that difficult. This happening in a lot of clubs, and I'm confused because the clubs have other spaces where you can talk. This is a massive difference between the crowd of people engaging in the night and the party who are big chatty crowd in the crowd. But I also don't think that I'm the supreme arbiter of techno. If I go to a party where people are into the music, there's other places that I can go to be mad at others. But that's the thing though, I think a lot of people do it because, like, say Fold is a good example, right? The outdoors of Fold is outdoors, so, and it gets cold, so people probably want to go in and talk and yap there. There's that other area in between where you go from the outside to the inside, but that's what I think that's what people do. They yap outside for a bit, they want to continue yapping, they carry on inside. And also maybe the whatever adult vitamin they've ingested can maybe elicit more yapping, you know, if you know what I mean. Dude, I'm here for the music. Shut the fuck up and move your conversation to the bar. Whatever, man. I mean, like the chess, honestly, like, what are we gonna have now? Signs on the dance floor, no speaking, no phones. Like, fucking hell, mate. What next? A fucking swastika? I mean, like chess, I'd find it pretty fucking weird if someone turned up to a club and set up their chessboard on the dance floor. That tells me that this isn't a place where everyone should exactly be. Honestly, the chess play, yeah, cool. Dress to Sweat is a party, is geared to dancing, geared to the room moving. There's areas to talk gently in the areas. So many people take a pill and can't shut up. That's part of it though, again, isn't it? That's part of dance culture too. The drugs involved. They make people act a bit, you know, cuckoo crazy. You just have to enjoy it. Like, people, I don't know. This feels like people are trying to create a safe space. And I don't think a club is one. That it's probably at the place where you should be on your P's and Q's. You should be maybe more aware, especially if you're, you know, a vulnerable person or whatever. You should be probably keeping your head on a swivel. You shouldn't just be letting yourself go, you know? Also, people talk not to the dance floor. Based on this argument, there should be no problem with me going to the concert gig and sit in the front row and having a loud conversation the entire gig. That's not, no one's, you shouldn't, you obviously, most of what this person's saying isn't that. That's a different problem. This whole Gen Z kids going to clubs or going to gigs, sorry, I've seen the article of it before and the picture of these kids that just sit at the front row or sit right next to the barriers with their Game Boys or whatever handheld devices on, chatting, you know, or playing chess. But those kids are like, they're taking a piss because they go to a gig and they don't want to see the opener. They don't really know good good gig etiquette. They're going to gigs. They don't care about the openers. They just sit down and play on their things, which is kind of disrespectful to who's performing. What they're talking about is different. This is like people who are in clubs on the dance floor, and they're talking in little pockets around the area because, you know, they're high off their minds. They want to have a yap, whatever it may be. All you have to do is move away from them. All you have to do is move away from them. They're not everywhere. I don't agree with this. I've been to Fold a million times. I've been out a million times. They're not everywhere. They're in little clumps. You just got to move away from the clumps. Anyway, based on that argument, there should be no problem with me going to a concert gig, sit in the front row and have a loud conversation the entire gig. Agree, clubs are spaces for a lot of things, but part of being in that space is respect to others, and most people on the dance floor want to hear the music and dance. Yeah, most people on the dance floor are doing that. You can't convince me that most people on the dance floor are talking. I'm not going to agree with that. That's just a lie. That's just fucking, you know what I mean? That's just somebody trying to make the worst out of it. That it's not the truth. There's some people doing that, not everyone. The whole problem with the modern dance floor is how we've come to view the DJ as some sort of rock star. True, that's another big part of it too. Besides, have you ever considered what might happen if you didn't have a sense of where the decks were? It might have a real fright, but it might mean dancing in front of one another. Like you're on a tube, but you're not going else. You're not going anywhere. You're not going nowhere else to stare at one another. But people on this thread shown it clear they want to be a commodity. They want to commodify a ritual as old as humans dancing. If you want to listen to music in solitary silence, then play a mix in your bedroom. Exactly. We become so afraid of connecting with others. It's astonishing. Or just sharing a space with others who are doing other things. Like, it's not that deep. Like, honestly, like it's like if you're sitting on a train and somebody's got their phone out playing it loud. Are you really gonna go out your way to tell them to turn it off, or are you just gonna move elsewhere? More than likely, everyone keeps moving. That person turns off their phone, but you engage them and tell them to turn it off. It creates an unnecessary conversation. Now you're arguing. Now you've got your tempers up. Now you're in a bad mood. Like, just move somewhere else. Like, it really isn't that difficult. Obviously, we'd prefer if we lived in a society where most people didn't have their fucking phone on loudspeaker or on loud while they're scrolling Instagram or TikTok. Most people would prefer it if we live in a society where a lot of people didn't yap on the dance floor, but they do. There are reasons why they do it, because they're high, because they're chatty in general, because I'm assuming if you're going to a club, you're somewhat extroverted, introverted, whatever, who knows? But if it's not a widespread big issue, not enough to have like signs above no yapping, like, honestly, just really sensitive people who just can't share space with others. Anyway, that's it, right? I don't think people are issue with having a casual conversation. It's overly chatty and loud. People often on cocaine, which makes it harder to lock in on the music, which is true. That's probably why it's not the best drug to go raving on, to be honest. There's other stuff that you should probably be on when you're raving. Maybe you should not be on anything, but it's probably not the greatest to rave on. Outside of Unfold events, Unfold have recently had a noticeable sound of people talking, not the usual murmur it used to be. Yeah, things change. I don't know. You know, things change. There's quite literally a place to sit and talk steps away, but then it's better to do it there because it's warmer and the music's there, you know what I mean? Also, your argument trying to shoe in capitalism and individualism seems a bit misguided to me. People are objecting to these things because it makes the dance floor less enjoyable for the majority. When it's less enjoyable, people go out less, which is an impact on the wider nightlife scene. I don't think many of these people are complaining from a purely individual standpoint. Yeah, that's fair. 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 Anyways, I like that thread. I recommend you check it out. Really good points made by either people on either side. I personally think they're kind of over egging the issue. It's not that deep, really. If you are next to somebody that's yapping too much, you can just move elsewhere. And sometimes along the way, the kind of vibe and the atmosphere of the night changes anyway. And the people, they cycle through every, I don't know, hour or something. It really isn't that deep of an issue personally. And you can always find little pockets that you can kind of dance away from people, from dance or whatever. You can find them. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Okie dokie, people. That has been it. That's actually English episode number 975. It's been a pleasure to have your company as per usual. If you're watching this live, you make sure you like the stream, of course. Like it down below before you leave. Subscribe to the channel, all that good shit. Podcast app, listening to it, you'll hear my tune today, which will be from the one and only Tems, Big Daddy, playing Underneath My Voice. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. The EP, she just dropped it, a surprise EP called Love Is a Kingdom. It's fucking fantastic. And yeah, thank you for joining in. I'll see the rest of you guys later. It's been a pleasure, never a chore. You know how it is. Bruh.